Chapter 586. In the stands, the blue qi flow on Wang Feng's body spun rapidly, forming several huge wind blades. Each of them was about 30 meters long. These wind blades connected together, forming a strange attack, quickly killing Lin Xian. The void split as if it was mercilessly torn apart. The surrounding qi flow spun rapidly, sealing off all directions. A horrifying aura spread out, making everyone shudder. Seeing this, everyone in the Wang family let out a sigh of relief. They could see that Wang Feng's wind mentality was far more powerful than Lin Xian's. Therefore, they believed that Wang Feng's wind mentality was definitely above Lin Xian's. "Little bastard, you dare to provoke the Wang family. This time you will die a horrible death." Everyone in the Wang family sneered. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. Wang Feng's strength was much stronger than he had imagined. It seemed that Wang Feng's concept of wind had already reached 70%. Moreover, Wang Feng was using it very freely, far surpassing the average cultivator. If it were anyone else, they would definitely not be able to block these wind blades. However, Lin Xian was different. He was not afraid at all. He also used his wind mentality. The surrounding qi flow spun and shone brightly, quickly forming a blue lotus flower, blooming in front of him. The huge blue lotus was as big as a house. Each petal was crystal clear, emitting a strong wind aura. The blue lotus spun and scattered light, forming a light screen, blocking the wind blades in front of him. Ding ding. Ding ding. Countless wind blades hit the light screen, creating countless sparks. The sound was like metal clashing, very ear-piercing. Ah! He blocked it. Everyone below was surprised. They did not expect Lin Xian to block Wang Feng's attack. This was a little out of their expectations. Just a small trick. Wang Feng saw that his attack was blocked, but he was not angry. Instead, he revealed an even bigger smile. This was just a casual attack from him, so it wasn't surprising that it was blocked by his opponent. Moreover, he believed that Lin Xian must have used all of his strength to block his casual attack. Moreover, the light screen was shaking violently, as if it would break at any moment. How could that little defense block his next attack? "Kid, if this is your strength, then you can go die." Wang Feng grinned. "Next, I will let you have a taste of fear." As soon as he finished speaking, he clenched his fists and circulated the concept of wind. It spun rapidly in front of him and condensed into the shape of a bow and arrow. The bow was very simple and unadorned. Clear light swirled around it, indicating its extraordinariness. On the surface, there were strange patterns that emitted an aura that made one's heart palpitate. What a terrifying aura. What is that? Everyone sighed. They looked at the green bow and arrow, continuously trembling. Clear wind bow. Someone exclaimed. Supposedly, this is an ultimate skill that can only be executed when one's wind concept has reached an extremely profound level. I didn't expect Wang Fengzhong to have such a skill. As expected of a genius from the Wang clan. The members of the Wang family looked at the arena and smiled. Feng, actually used the clear wind bow. Isn't that making a mountain out of a molehill? Asked a Wang clan disciple. Nothing? Just in time to let this brat know the true strength of our Wang clan's disciples. The middle-aged man said with a smile. On the stage, Wang Feng held the clear wind bow, and his aura became abnormally strong. "Brat, dying under the clear wind bow is enough for you to be proud." After saying this, he held the bow in his left hand. The wind concept revolved, forming another green arrow. Finally, he pointed at Lin Xian, and a terrifying killing intent surged from his body. As soon as this aura appeared, it immediately swept in all directions. The terrifying aura enveloped the entire arena. At this moment, everyone in the audience felt a wave of trembling. It was as if the bow and arrow were aimed at them. Too terrifying. Just one aura is so terrifying. This clear wind bow is just too domineering. Yeah, just this aura alone seems to be able to tear through everything. Perhaps even a spirit-detecting realm expert might not be able to withstand it, right? That Lin Xian is finished. Facing this kind of attack, he might not even have the slightest chance of escaping. I originally thought that a genius had appeared and could break the legend of consecutive victories. I didn't expect him to fall like this. It really is a pity. Everyone discussed. Quite a few people sneered and some people shook their heads and sighed. The people from the Wang family revealed sinister expressions. They wanted to carefully admire the moment Lin Xi's head exploded. Only then could they get rid of their previous sullenness. In the VIP seats, Blackwood Mountain sat in the center. He shook the wine in his hand and revealed a satisfied smile. Hee, the arrogant brat is finally going to die. It seems like my Blackwood family doesn't need to do anything. This is really easy. That's fine. A dead genius is nothing anyway. This is the consequence of rejecting the Blackwood family. Blackwood Mountain was very happy. As long as Lin Xian died, there would be one less hidden danger in his heart. Looking at the clear wind bow, Lin Xian's expression became serious. He could feel a dangerous aura from it. This aura had already surpassed the wind concept itself. Wang Feng's wind concept alone could not display such an aura. Moreover, the patterns on the clear wind bow were very strange. It was definitely not something a peak spirit detecting realm expert could display. Brat, the origin of this clear wind bow is a bit unusual. You have to be careful. The dark red dragon hid in his sleeve and said. Lin Xian nodded. He could naturally feel the danger. In the next moment, his expression became serious. He used his soul power and deeply imprinted the appearance of the clear wind bow in his mind. Then, his body swayed and turned into a series of afterimages, disappearing from where he stood. In an instant, Lin Xian's speed reached the extreme. The entire stage was filled with his afterimages. The afterimages were perfect as if they were real. It was impossible to distinguish between reality and illusion. The audience below the stage exclaimed. Lin Xian's speed surpassed most of them. Even some peak spirit detecting realm experts frowned because they could not distinguish between reality and illusion. The people from the Wang family all had serious expressions. The middle-aged man coldly snorted, I didn't expect this brat's movement technique to be so strange. It would be a pity to kill him directly. Hearing this, the surrounding people were stunned. Then their eyes lit up. They naturally understood the middle-aged man's words. If they could capture Lin Xian, they would definitely be able to find out about this movement technique. At that time, their Wang family would have another secret technique. However, the only thing that worried them was Lin Xian's identity. This kind of genius youth's identity was probably not low. Therefore, to be safe, they could only kill Lin Xian. If he died on the stage, even the other party's sect would not be able to say anything. On the stage, Wang Feng looked around with a trace of disdain. Useless brat. If it were anyone else, your movement technique would be a huge threat. However, against me, you're dead for sure. Because the clear wind bow automatically locks onto its target. No matter how many clones you have, you won't be able to escape death. Chapter 587. In an instant, dozens of phantoms were pierced. However, the green light did not stop and quickly flew toward a certain corner of the sky. That was where Lin Xian was. It's over, he's been locked on, the crowd below exclaimed. This is bad. Even if he doesn't die after being hit by this arrow, he'll be half dead. I didn't expect Lin Xian to be so amazing. After winning 6 matches in a row, he's going to fall in the end. What a pity. Sigh, there's no other way. Who told him to offend the Wang family? The Wang family definitely won't let anyone win 10 matches in a row. The crowd shook their heads and sighed. The streak of light quickly arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant. An unusually sharp aura enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian coldly snorted. The green aura in his hand moved, forming a green dragon claw that grabbed forward. This dragon claw was huge, as if it was real. One could even see the green scales on it. The moment Lin Xian attacked, the space in front of him was torn apart. The entire space could not withstand it. The green dragon claw reached out, tearing apart the opponent's wind concept and grabbing the green arrow. What? He's been caught. The crowd was shocked. Wang Feng's pupils shrank, revealing a trace of shock. He knew the power of the clear wind bow. That arrow was impossible to catch. Even a warrior at the limit of the spirit detecting realm would not dare to resist. And now, his ultimate skill had been caught by the opponent. This made him feel like he was dreaming. Impossible. No one can resist my ultimate skill. Dream, I must be dreaming. Wang Feng shrieked. He couldn't accept this reality. The Wang family was even more shocked. They knew Wang Feng's strength. They had even seen Wang Feng injure a warrior at the limit of the spirit detecting realm with one arrow. This was why they had sent Wang Feng out. Moreover, they were confident that as long as Wang Feng attacked, he would definitely be able to take down Lin Xian. However, they never expected that Wang Feng's ultimate skill would be caught by the opponent. They had not expected such a scene at all. Damn brat, who is he to be able to catch the clear wind bow with his bare hands? What dragon claw is that? Feels so real. Everyone in the Wang clan had a bad premonition. Their expressions were grim as they stared at the arena. They hoped that Wang Feng would be able to recover from his shock. Wang Feng looked at Lin Xian in the air and took a deep breath, trying his best to calm down. He couldn't afford to lose. This battle not only concerned the reputation of the Wang clan, but also his own. If he lost, not only would the Wang family's reputation be tarnished, her reputation would also be tarnished. He believed that it wouldn't be long before the entire Quicksand City knew that he had been defeated by a brat at the mid-stage of the spirit-detecting realm. If that happened, he might as well die. Therefore he could not lose. But now the outcome wasn't too bad. This was because the other party had only grabbed the clear wind bow and did not shatter it. Although he was shocked, he was still able to control the clear wind bow. Boy, I don't know who you are and I don't know what means you used to catch my ultimate skill. But if you think you can win like this, then you are too naive. Things are not that simple. The show is about to begin. You are destined to die in my hands. Clear wind arrows explode. Wang Feng roared as he activated the secret technique with all his might. He believed that with the power of the arrow, it would definitely be able to shatter the other party at such a close distance. It didn't matter if the other party had caught his ultimate skill or not, the final result would be the same. He was still a genius of the Wang family. And the other party was a dead man. No matter how dazzling the other party's achievements were, a dead man was a dead man. He would no longer be a threat. Following Wang Feng's order, the aura of the clear wind bow gradually became violent and unstable. It was as if it could explode at any moment. Everyone was shocked and their expressions became extremely tense. The people of the Wang family also had serious expressions, but they had already regained their composure. They believed that the power of the explosion would definitely be able to shatter Lin Xian. Lin Xian also felt the change in the aura of the clear wind arrow. He let out a cold snort and the dragon claw formed by his 5 fingers suddenly exerted force. Like an azure dragon attacking, the violent force from his palm hit the weak spot of the arrow. No matter what, he wouldn't let it explode. In everyone's eyes, the azure arrow continued to grow larger and its aura became more and more powerful. It looked like it was about to explode. However, in the next moment, Lin Xian exerted force in his palm. Time seemed to stop and the scene froze. The changes in the clear wind arrow stopped and the violent aura also stopped. It quickly disappeared as if it had never happened. Then, under everyone's shocked gazes, the azure arrow shattered into pieces and fell to the ground. What? He actually shattered the cyan arrow? Everyone was stunned. It didn't explode? How is that possible? Wang Feng was dumbfounded. Even his mind was stuck. He knew the power of the clear wind arrow, and he had clearly given the order. He had also clearly felt the change in the arrow, which meant that his order had taken effect. However, the azure arrow didn't explode. This meant that at the last moment, the explosion had been forcefully stopped by the other party. However, he still didn't believe that a brat at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm could stop his ultimate skill. It has to be said that the attack could even injure a peak spirit-detecting realm cultivator. Could it be that the brat's strength had already reached the peak of the spirit-detecting realm? But even if he had reached the peak of the spirit-detecting realm, it was impossible for him to destroy his ultimate skill so easily. This was because he had obtained it from an ancient ruin. Its power was beyond imagination. Impossible? What method did you use? You actually destroyed an ancient ultimate skill? Wang Feng went crazy. He had just said that the other party wouldn't be able to block it, but the other party had easily destroyed it. This was a slap to his face. It's just a small trick. Show me what you have. Lin Xian stood in the air like a god of war. No one could stop him. So what if you can destroy it? At most, you'll be able to save your life. Wang Feng's expression was ferocious. I don't believe you can block my second or third arrow. Although he didn't know what method the other party had used to break it, Wang Feng believed that if he attacked with all his strength, the other party wouldn't be able to withstand it. After all, no one could block the power of an ancient ultimate skill multiple times. Brat, you've completely angered me. No one can save you today. Wang Feng was furious. He had used his ultimate skill, but he couldn't kill a brat at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm. This made him lose all face. Therefore, he decided to no longer hold back and kill the other party with all his strength. Chapter 588. Wang Feng was furious. He had used his ultimate skill, but he couldn't kill a brat at the mid-stage of the spirit-detecting realm. This made him lose all face. Therefore, he no longer held back and decided to kill Lin Feng with all his strength. With that, he raised his left hand and formed the clear wind bow again. An even more violent aura spread out and the shadow of the bow became even more solid. Clear wind bow? It's an ultimate skill, but it's a waste in your hands. Lin Xian's contemptuous voice came from the sky and clearly spread out in all directions. Everyone was shocked once more. Lin Xian's words seemed to confirm the power of the clear wind bow, but there was another meaning in his tone. It was disdain. He was actually looking down on Wang Feng? Everyone was shocked and felt like this wasn't real. Who was Wang Feng? He was an expert at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm and a genius of the Wang family. He also had an ancient ultimate skill like the Clear Wind Bow and was extremely powerful. However, such a genius was being looked down on by someone. Wang Feng's face became even more gloomy. No one had ever dared to look down on him since he became famous, but now a little thief dared to speak such arrogant words. He couldn't stand it. Ah! His black hair danced in the wind as he let out a roar. He crazily cycled his spirit force and pushed the concept of wind to the extreme. The Clear Wind Bow in his hand became even more solid. Humph, if you still don't believe me, then I'll let you see what the true Son of Wind domain is. Lin Xian's voice was cold. The next moment he also raised his left hand and cycled the concept of wind. A green aura quickly cycled in his hand and gradually condensed. A green shadow quickly appeared and gradually solidified. Soon a green bow appeared in his hand. The aura it gave off was exactly the same as the Clear Wind Bow in Wang Feng's hand. What? Lin Xian also knows the Clear Wind Bow. Everyone was stunned and dumbfounded. Wang Feng was even more shocked. He even began to doubt himself. Lin Feng actually knew his ultimate skill? How was this possible? It has to be said that his ultimate skill was something he had obtained by chance in an ancient ruin. He had been studying it for many years and had never spread it to anyone else. Even the people in his family didn't know how to use it. However, the brat in front of him had actually used his ultimate skill. This was too shocking. Illusion, it must be an illusion. This brat is using illusions to confuse my mind and make me reveal a flaw so that he can make a move. Wang Feng guessed. Then he shouted loudly, "Brat, don't think that you can mess with my mind by using illusions to create the appearance of the Clear Wind Bow. I will show you what a true ancient lost art is. You, on the other hand, are just a facade." After hearing Wang Feng's angry roar, everyone realized that it was just an illusion. You scared me to death. So it was an illusion. I thought that he had also learned the Clear Wind Bow. That's right, it was really a false alarm. The Clear Wind Bow is an ancient lost skill. How could other people know it? Everyone heaved a sigh of relief and prepared to watch what would happen next. The expressions of the Wang clan's members were not very good. Regardless of whether it was the Clear Wind Bow or not, the strength that the other party had displayed had already made their Wang clan look bad. If they couldn't take down Lin Xian this time, their Wang clan's reputation would suffer greatly. In the VIP seating area, MT Blackwood's expression turned ugly. What bullshit, Wang clan. They can't even take down a middle-stage spirit realm brat. What trash. If it was in our Blackwood arena, any martial artist would be able to kill this little bastard. MT Blackwood coldly snorted. The level of the Wang clan's martial artists had disappointed him. At the same time, his killing intent towards Lin Xian became even stronger. The more outstanding Lin Xian's performance was, the more he wanted to kill him. Lin Xian's use of the Clear Wind Bow had shocked everyone. However, they all thought that Lin Xian was only imitating the appearance of the Clear Wind Bow and couldn't display its true power. Wang Feng thought the same. He didn't believe that Lin Xian knew his ultimate skill. However, Lin Xian's actions were undoubtedly a slap to his face. Therefore he had to quickly kill Lin Xian to prove himself. Holding the Clear Wind Bow in his hand, Wang Feng pushed his strength to the extreme. An arrow that looked like a real arrow quickly formed. This arrow was 3 times more powerful than the previous ones. The huge green arrow was like a green flood that swept out in all directions. The terrifying aura caused everyone to be shocked. This arrow was too stunning. Even a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm would not be able to face it head-on. Looking at the arrow that was rapidly flying towards him, Lin Xian's expression became serious. He tightly gripped the bow in his hand and pulled it back. The wind-sun concept crazily revolved and a green arrow appeared in his hand. Lin Xian didn't know the ultimate skill of the Clear Wind Bow, but he had the Great Dragon Sword Spirit. It was an offensive saint technique that could imitate anything. Therefore he could easily imitate the appearance of the Clear Wind Bow. Even the patterns on it were exactly the same. Lin Xian discovered that the arrow imitated by the patterns contained a mysterious power. It was as if it was naturally there. Therefore, when Lin Xian imitated the Clear Wind Bow with the Great Dragon Sword Spirit, its power was not inferior to Wang Feng's. In fact, it was even stronger. Moreover, with the addition of the Great Dragon Sword Spirit, Lin Xian's attack power far exceeded Wang Feng's. Therefore, when Lin Xian condensed the green arrow, the surrounding crowd was in an uproar. They could feel that the arrow condensed by Lin Xian was even stronger than Wang Feng's. Comparing the two, it was as if Lin Xian's clear wind bow was the true ancient technique. Impossible. How can he have such a powerful aura? Wang Feng looked at the figure in the air and cried out in shock. It was too shocking. The clear wind bow that Lin Xian used was even stronger than his. He couldn't believe it. It had to be known that he had truly grasped the ancient technique. His opponent was only imitating it. Little thief, even now you still want to use an illusion to deceive me. How laughable. Wang Feng clenched his teeth and said, "Illusion?" Lin Xian chuckled. "You'll soon find out whether or not this is an illusion." Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Feng's expression became very ugly. Cold sweat even dripped down his forehead. This aura was too strong, causing his body to tremble slightly. It was obvious that this wasn't an illusion. However, he didn't believe that the other party could surpass him. Therefore, in his subconscious, he would rather believe that everything Lin Xian did was an illusion to deceive him. If he didn't think so, he wouldn't be able to bear it. He would probably go crazy immediately. Die for me. Wang Feng loosened his grip. The bow in his hand shone, and it turned into an aurora as it quickly flew out. This arrow contained all of his strength and endless killing intent. He wanted to kill this hateful brat in front of him. Only then could he relieve the hatred in his heart. Today I will let you see what the true concept of wind is. Lin Xian's voice was cold. He also launched an attack. An even larger arrow fell from the sky like a green meteor, quickly crashing into the ground. The two forces were too strong. Sun Jian tore the void apart, and countless violent currents swept out in all directions. Fortunately, there was a defensive array around the stage. Otherwise, everyone in the arena would have been injured by this green aura. Everyone was shocked and looked nervously at the martial stage. The two of them were too strong. They weren't people that they could contend against. They couldn't even withstand that aura. The two enormous forces collided and exploded with a green light. It instantly enveloped the entire stage. The power of the violent waves hit the defensive array, causing a deafening explosion. Chapter 589. The entire arena was instantly submerged by the azure aura. Everyone waited nervously, wanting to know the result of the battle. In particular, the people of the Wang family were so nervous that they were covered in cold sweat. They had long lost their previous calmness and were now filled with panic. Lin Xian's performance was too powerful. Not only did he use an ancient skill like the clear wind bow, but his power was even stronger than Wang Feng's. So they had no confidence at all. They could only pray that luck favored their Wang family. Nan Gongseng and the Black Pearl were also filled with anticipation. Their expressions showed that they completely believed in Lin Xian's strength. Time passed slowly. At this moment, the green airflow on the arena was raging wildly. It was incomparably violent and showed no signs of weakening. The red-robed referee gloomily stared at the arena. Then he took out a disc and quickly controlled the defensive formation. The formation changed, creating a force that blew away the azure aura. Suddenly, the scene on the arena became clear. Everyone was nervous and focused on the arena. They knew that the result would be out soon. But when they saw the result, they were still stunned. On the arena, Lin Xian had a calm expression. He stood with his hands behind his back like a god of war. As for Wang Feng, he was half kneeling on the ground. His body was constantly trembling, and there was a bloody hole in his shoulder. That cave was very terrifying. If it had been a bit further away, his heart would have been injured. Not only was Wang Feng's body injured, but his mind had also collapsed. Impossible, this is absolutely impossible. I'm clearly the only one who knows the true primordial lost art. How could you possibly use it? Wang Feng roared like a madman. He couldn't believe that a mid-stage spirit-detecting brat could injure him. Moreover, he had used the same ancient skill as him. This was naked mockery, but he was powerless to fight back. He could only endure it. Now he was even a bit angry. Why did his family send him out? Wouldn't it be better to send a peak spirit-detecting cultivator? Not only would he be able to keep his family's reputation, but he wouldn't have to lose face. And now, it wouldn't be long before he became the laughingstock of the entire Quicksand City. I'll kill you. Wang Feng howled like a wounded beast. His eyes were bloodshot as he glared viciously at Lin Xian, as if he wanted to pierce through him. In the next moment he suddenly burst forth, burning all of his spiritual energy to unleash his strongest attack. He was overestimating himself. Lin Xian snorted coldly and disappeared in a flash. Then he appeared beside Wang Feng and slapped Wang Feng's face, sending him flying. Wang Feng smashed into the defense and fell to the ground. His face was almost rotten and his teeth were broken. When the red-robed judge saw this, he immediately shouted out in anger. Stop. He stared at Lin Xian, emitting a cold aura. The red-robed judge was an expert at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm and was abnormally powerful. As soon as his aura appeared, it enveloped the entire dueling ground. It was as if a sharp blade had appeared in the surroundings, ready to fall at any moment. Everyone was trembling as they watched on nervously. If the red packet-robed judge were to make a move, Lin Xuehui would have lost his life on the spot. Nan Gongseng and the Black Pearl were also nervous. The two of them paid close attention, ready to reveal their identities at any moment to save Lin Xian. However, Lin Xian felt the red-robed judge's cold gaze and sharp killing intent, but he only smiled indifferently. On the stage, life and death are up to fate. I was just defending myself. What, did you forget the rules of the dueling ground and want to attack me? Lin Xian said in a deep voice. His voice was very clear and spread out in all directions. The red-robed judge's gaze was gloomy as he stared at Lin Xian. He wanted to attack several times, but he restrained himself in the end. He really wanted to slap Lin Xian to death, but the rules of the dueling ground prevented him from doing so. If he really killed Lin Xian, then his Wang family's dueling ground would no longer be open. Because no martial artist would dare to come here in the future. No one would come to a dueling ground that killed a contestant. With a cold snort, the red-robed judge withdrew his aura, but his cold gaze was still fixed on Lin Xian. In his eyes, Lin Xian was already a dead man. No matter what the result was, he had to get rid of this scourge in front of him. Feeling the red-robed judge's killing intent, Lin Xian sneered in his heart. A peak spirit-detecting realm expert was very strong, but he had killed more than one of them. If the Wang family dared to kill him, he wouldn't mind killing them. Moreover, the red-robed judge's actions had strengthened his conviction. He had to destroy the Wang family's dueling ground. Someone come, take Wang Feng away for treatment. The red-robed judge said in a deep voice. Immediately, 4 Wang family disciples quickly came to the stage and carried Wang Feng away. Only then did everyone recover from their shock. Cries of surprise could be heard all around. Lin Xian had won 7 consecutive matches, and his opponent this time was very strong. However, he still wasn't a match for Lin Xian. Heavens, this Lin Xian is too terrifying, isn't he? He actually defeated Wang Feng. Damn. Does this Lin Xian know any ancient techniques? Why do I feel that the clear wind bow he uses is much stronger than Wang Fengfeng's? There are only 3 matches left before he can win 10 consecutive matches. I wonder if he can succeed? It would be very difficult. The Wang family wouldn't let him win 10 consecutive matches. Yes, although Wang Feng was strong, he wasn't the top genius of the Wang family. There were still 2 or 3 peerless geniuses above him, and those people would probably ruthlessly attack him. Moreover, the Wang family had a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. It was impossible for them to achieve 10 consecutive victories. However, 7 consecutive matches was already very terrifying. The rewards would be very generous. Even a peak spirit-detecting realm expert would be jealous. Everyone discussed and analyzed the upcoming matches. Nan Gongseng and Black Pearl were overjoyed, especially Black Pearl. She was so happy that she was dancing. This time, her spirit stones had increased by several times. She was simply too happy. Nan Gongseng took a deep breath. His eyes flashed. Even if he couldn't recruit a genius like Lin Xian into the family, he had to have a good relationship with him. He decided that if Lin Xian was in danger, he would immediately reveal his identity as a member of the Nan Gongseng and protect him. He knew that the Wang family wouldn't give up so easily. In the VIP seats, Blackwood Mountain's face was ashen. He crushed the exquisite wine cup and the spirit wine instantly evaporated. This brat had to be eliminated. Blackwood Mountain decided to quickly contact the family's experts and secretly eliminate Lin Xian. If his Blackwood Mountain couldn't get such a genius, he definitely couldn't let other powers get him. The Wang family members were like vicious wolves as they stared at Lin Xian. They wanted nothing more than to kill him. Chapter 590. Not long after, Lin Xian defeated 2 more geniuses from the Wang family and obtained 9 consecutive victories. 9 consecutive victories. How long had it been since someone had obtained such a record? And now, it had happened to a youth at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Everyone was stunned. They couldn't believe it. The Wang family members' expressions were extremely ugly. After Wang Feng, they sent out their family's young experts. The 2 of them were very strong, even stronger than Wang Feng. But even so, they still lost to Lin Xian. Lin Xian was like a bottomless pit. No matter how strong the young experts were, he could still win. Moreover, he was very calm. The Wang family members were terrified. They found that the stronger the opponent, the stronger Lin Xian became. It was as if there was no upper limit. This was simply too terrifying. Unless the other party's strength was extremely profound, it was impossible for them to do this. But the two martial artists they sent out were very close to the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. Even so, they still lost to Lin Xian. This could only mean one thing. Lin Xian's strength was equivalent to a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. Understanding this point, everyone gasped in shock. Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm, but his strength was at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. This gap was too big. Very few people could have this kind of battle strength. At this moment, the way everyone looked at Lin Xian changed. It was a kind of reverence. The limit of the spirit-detecting realm represented the peak of the spirit-detecting realm. Normal martial artists couldn't reach it. And the most terrifying thing about Lin Xian was that not only had his strength reached the limit of the spirit-detecting realm, he was also terrifyingly young. This kind of talent was too shocking. It probably surpassed the majority of martial artists. Even the top geniuses of the Sand region couldn't compare to Lin Xian. Now, Lin Xian was looking forward to seeing what kind of battle Lin Xian would have if he met a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. Thinking of this, they couldn't wait anymore. However, the members of the Wang family didn't think so. One had to know that they had already sent out all the geniuses of their family, yet they still weren't able to stop Lin Xian's winning streak. They also discovered that Lin Xian's strength was equivalent to a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. This was very bad news for them. It had to be known that the strongest person in the Colosseum was a peak spirit-detecting realm martial artist. This martial artist was extremely valiant. He had always been overseeing the Wang family's battle arena, ensuring that the Wang family's battle arena could develop smoothly and not be challenged by others. Normally, the extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist rarely made a move. Many people didn't even know who he was. Given the current situation, the Wang clan had no choice but to send him out. The elders of the Wang family were discussing countermeasures in a secret room on the second floor. Then they came up with a better plan, which was to negotiate with Lin Xian and ask him to give up his 10 consecutive victories. Then they would send someone to secretly kill Lin Xian. This way, there was no need for the extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist to make a move. Moreover, they would be able to snatch back the rewards they had lost and get rid of a potential opponent like Lin Xian. It was killing two birds with one stone. Moreover, unless it was absolutely necessary, they wouldn't let the extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist make a move. This was because the extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist represented the strongest fighting force in the Colosseum. It was related to their face and reputation. These people were not allowed to lose. In the past, they weren't worried at all. However, now that Lin Xian was too strange, they had to be careful. If they failed miserably, the Wang family would suffer an even greater loss. Therefore, they decided to negotiate with Lin Xian. Soon these people made a move. The black-robed elder began to send a voice transmission to Lin Xian. "Young friend, you have already won 9 consecutive battles. Why don't you stop now? Don't worry, we will give you the rewards for your 9 consecutive victories and the spirit stones that you bet. In addition, we will also give you a big gift as compensation. Actually, we don't have to fight at all. Isn't it better to be friends and mutually benefit?" The black-robed elder said. "With 9 consecutive victories, you are already famous. Presumably, it won't be long before the entire Quicksand City knows your name. Isn't this a matter of fame and fortune very fast?" The black-robed elder quickly proposed an attractive price. However, Lin Xian only sneered. If it were any other martial artist facing such an attractive reward, perhaps they would have agreed. However, Lin Xian was different. He didn't challenge the Wang family for fame and resources. Previously, the Wang family disciples had done everything possible to frame him. Of course, he wanted to vent his anger. Therefore, his goal was to destroy the Wang family's Colosseum. Therefore, no matter what price the other party offered, he wouldn't agree. "The conditions are very attractive, but I can't agree. I think there is nothing better than 10 consecutive victories to gain both fame and fortune." Lin Xian directly refused. Hearing Lin Xian's refusal, the black-robed elder's face immediately darkened. "Kid, don't be too arrogant. Our Wang family has an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. You can't win 10 consecutive battles. At that time, you won't even get a single spirit stone. If you know what's good for you, then agree to my request. Otherwise, your end will be very miserable." The black-robed elder's words were filled with a strong killing intent. "No need to threaten me." Lin Xian sneered. "If you were confident, then just do it. Why negotiate with me? Since you want to negotiate, that means you don't have any confidence. A martial artist who doesn't even have confidence in himself isn't worthy of being my opponent. Lin Xian's voice was cold and even had a trace of mockery. It wasn't that he was arrogant, but that his strength had indeed surpassed an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. Therefore he didn't put the Wang family in his eyes. Kid, you're courting death. Just you wait, you'll die a horrible death. The black-robed elder snorted. Since negotiations had broken down, then there was no need to hold back. He would inform the extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist to quickly kill the other party. Soon a youth walked onto the stage. This youth looked ordinary, but his expression was somewhat cold. Especially his eyes, which were like sharp swords that could pierce through people. Moreover, there was an extremely violent aura on his body that seemed to be able to crush the surroundings. Once this aura appeared, the surrounding people immediately tensed up and couldn't breathe. This was the aura of an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. It could crush any extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. This was the power of an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. Just a strand of his aura could suppress the opponent. How terrifying. Just a strand of his aura could kill the opponent. How could they fight? Everyone was terrified. An extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist was too terrifying. They didn't dare to make an enemy of him. Perhaps only Lin Xian dared to challenge an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. No one else had the guts. The gloomy young man looked at Lin Xian with a look of disdain. You're the martial artist with 9 consecutive victories? I heard that you can fight above your level, and your strength is comparable to an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist? Chapter 591. The gloomy youth's words were filled with killing intent. He had been in charge of the Wang family's battle arena for many years and had always lived in peace. He didn't expect someone to recklessly challenge him today. Even in the end he was alarmed. He originally thought it would be another genius expert at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm, but he didn't expect it to be a mid-stage spirit-detecting realm brat. The gloomy youth had already received orders from the Wang family elder to not hold back and kill his opponent. Therefore he looked at Lin Xian as if he was looking at a dead person. Brat, you should be proud of your 9 consecutive victories, but it's important to know your own limits. Since you don't know how to appreciate favors and want 10 consecutive victories, I'll let you know what regret is. The gloomy youth, Wuxia, stared at Lin Xian with a gloomy gaze. Then his figure flickered and he quickly charged out like a shadow. With one step he was like a bolt of lightning and instantly arrived in front of Lin Xian. He raised his right hand and his arm was like a blade. It flickered with a sharp light as it quickly slashed down. A resplendent blade light flashed past like a cold moonlight enveloping Lin Xian. Although Wuxia looked down on Lin Xian, he didn't hold back at all when he really attacked. After all, his opponent was a martial artist who had obtained 9 consecutive victories. Moreover, he had been warned by the Wang family elder to use his full strength. Therefore he didn't plan on holding back from the start. His palm fell like a sharp saber, quickly chopping out. If this saber was hit, it would probably be split in half. Lin Xian's footsteps were light and he moved with the wind. He was like a willow in the wind, drifting erratically. His figure was extremely ghostly. With the concept of wind, Lin Xian's speed had increased by a level. Therefore he easily dodged Wuxiao's hand blade. Wuxiao didn't show any emotion after his attack missed. He moved like a shadow and quickly chased after Lin Xian. His 5 fingers formed a claw, condensing into a giant demonic beast claw that quickly grabbed at Lin Xian. Wuxiao was worthy of being an expert at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm. His mentality, moves, and experience were not something that Wang Feng and the others could compare to. Every move of his was very stunning. He caught Lin Xian's flaws and could even predict the path of Lin Xian's attack. After the previous match, he knew that Lin Xian's strength was the concept of wind, which was his advantage of speed. Thus he quickly closed in on Lin Xian and engaged him in close combat. As long as he could stick close to Lin Xian, he would be able to suppress Lin Xian's speed advantage and win half the battle. For the next half, he would need to use his experience and strength to find opportunities in battle. If Lin Xian was an ordinary martial artist, then Wuxiao's strategy would be very correct. It would even have a high chance of success. However, Lin Xian could not be judged by common sense. Even the Wang clan's estimation of Lin Xian's strength was wrong. Lin Xian knew the concept of wind, but it was not his only concept. He also knew the concept of thunder and the dragon sword spirit. Of course, Lin Xian did not plan to use his full strength. That would be a very stupid move. Moreover, he liked to keep some trump cards and use them at a critical moment. Perhaps they could turn the situation around. However, when he saw Wuxia impatiently running over to fight him in close combat, he still smiled. With a smile, Lin Xian's figure suddenly stopped and stood in the air. Then his whole body surged with lightning. On his right fist, golden arcs of lightning jumped, filled with a violent aura. He threw out a punch and the sky was filled with golden light. The golden fist quickly enlarged and rushed forward. Boom! It was like two mountains had collided. A terrifying sound echoed in all directions. The violent power exploded, and the shockwave spread out like a wave. The dazzling light burst out, making people unable to open their eyes. The surrounding people were shocked. The two of them were too terrifying. The shockwave shocked them. It could be imagined how much energy the two of them were enduring. This was something they did not dare to imagine. This Lin Xian was too powerful. He could actually fight against a peak spirit detecting realm martial artist. Was he still human? Genius, he was definitely a genius. That attack just now was too terrifying. Lin Xian could actually control the power of two elements. It was too inconceivable. Everyone discussed and exclaimed in their hearts. On the stage, Lin Xian and Wuxia collided. Then, the two of them separated like lightning. Wuxia was shocked. He had not held back in that attack, but Lin Xian had been able to block it. This made him very shocked. Then he let out a long roar. His black hair fluttered as he quickly charged at Lin Xian. Lin Xian coldly snorted and also quickly met him. The two of them exchanged blows once again. Their figures were like lightning as they intertwined with each other. Everyone was dazzled by the scene. They couldn't catch a trace of them at all. They could only see the terrifying energy wave after wave spreading in all directions, followed by the earth-shattering sound. Below, the Wang and Wang family members' expressions were very ugly when they saw the two of them entangled. Lin Xian was actually able to fight against a peak spirit detecting realm martial artist. This situation was very unfavorable for them. It had to be known that Wuxia was the strongest person in their great martial arena. If he could not take down Lin Xian, then no one else could. Unless it was an older generation martial artist that stepped in. However, if the older generation really did step in, then the Wang family would become the laughingstock of Quicksand City in half a day. This was because this was a battle between the younger generation. If the older generation stepped in, they would definitely be ridiculed. Their Wang family could not afford to lose this face. Therefore, the elders and the older generation could not step in. They could only place their hopes on Wuxia, the #1 young expert of the Wang family. Although the two of them seemed to be evenly matched, Wuxiao's strength and experience far surpassed his opponents. As time passed, he would definitely be able to suppress his opponent. The black-robed elder said in a deep voice. That's right, Wuxiao still had not used his ultimate move. It seemed like he was still confident. The Wang family members prayed. On the field, Wuxiao attacked wildly. Every attack was like a resplendent blade that slashed in all directions. However, Lin Xian caught all of these ferocious attacks and blasted them back with even more ferocious power. Lin Xian's body bloomed with light. Blue arcs of lightning danced like golden dragons, roaring fiercely in all directions. Every punch was filled with violent power, and the entire void was unable to withstand it. Moreover, this was only a portion of his strength. Lin Xian did not use any sword arts, nor did he use any sword intent. He was only using the concept of wind and the power of lightning to fight. He was tempering himself, increasing his battle experience and tempering his strength. On the opposite side, Wuxiao did not know that Lin Xian was suppressing his strength. However, the strength he had displayed so far had already shocked him. He did not intend to hold back anymore. He had to quickly finish off his opponent. The violent spirit energy in his body erupted once more. 10,000 Beast Fist. Wuxiao roared to the sky and sent out a punch. A layer of blood-red lines appeared on his fist. A fierce aura surged out as if a peerless beast had awakened. As his fist danced, a ferocious demonic bear quickly formed in the void. Its huge figure covered the sky. The blood-red demonic bear phantom hammered the ground with both hands and quickly blasted in all directions. Chapter 592. 10,000 Beast Fist. Wuxiao's ultimate technique is extremely powerful. It can be considered a half-earth rank technique. I didn't expect him to use the 10,000 Beast Fist here. It seems like he wants to end this quickly. I wonder how Lin Xian is going to receive it. One must know that as long as it is related to an earth-rank martial art, its power is extremely terrifying. If Lin Xian doesn't have a corresponding technique, he'll be in danger. Wuxiao's use of the 10,000 Beast Fist made the audience exclaim. It couldn't be helped. The 10,000 Beast Fist was a half-earth rank technique which was very rare. Most of the martial artists present used spirit rank techniques. Very few of them had come into contact with half-earth rank techniques, which was why they were so shocked. When the Wang family and the others saw this scene, they relaxed and smiled. Wuxiao used the 10,000 Beast Fist. It seems like the match is about to end. Yes, Wuxiao has already practiced 5 variations of the 10,000 Beast Fist. Lin Xian is no match for him. A group of Wang family elders sneered. In the sky, the giant demonic bear roared and charged at Lin Xian with an aura that could tear apart mountains and rivers. At the same time, there was a dense, baleful aura on its body as if it was a real demonic beast. That kind of power could easily tear apart a peak spirit detecting realm martial artist. Even a peak spirit detecting realm martial artist wouldn't dare to take it head-on. Looking at the demonic bear, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He let out a low roar and golden lightning surged around his body, forming a golden lightning beast on his fist. The golden lightning beast quickly grew and filled the sky. Golden lightning flashed all over its body and quickly formed a lightning pattern. It was as if it was made of gold. It was extraordinarily heroic. The two spirit beasts collided in the air and tore at each other. The terrifying energy wave after wave caused the sky to collapse. What? He caught it? That Lin Xian actually caught the 10,000 Beast Fist. Everyone was shocked. The Wang family elder was also shocked. Impossible, the 10,000 Beast Fist is a half-earth rank technique. It's extremely powerful. How could that little bastard catch it? Does he also have a half-earth rank technique? The group of people's faces darkened. Seeing that his 10,000 Beast Fist was blocked, Huozhao's expression turned cold. He snorted and punched again. This time, the shadow of the fist flickered and formed a huge poisonous scorpion. It was black all over and black gas was swirling around it, making it look extremely demonic. As soon as the scorpion appeared, it pounced on the golden lightning beast. The two poisonous pincers and the poisonous tail quickly stabbed in. The poisonous tail in particular was extremely poisonous. It quickly scattered the golden lightning beast. Ah! Seeing this scene, Wuxiao laughed complacently. Kid, my 10,000 Beast Fist has 5 variations. What are you going to use to fight me? Today I will torture you to death and let you know that there are some people you can't mess with. Seeing the golden thunder beast destroyed, Lin Xian's expression remained calm. That was just a casual strike from him. Moreover, he had a general understanding of the 10,000 Beast Fist's strength. Although in the eyes of outsiders the 10,000 Beast Fist was very powerful, Lin Xian disdained it. What was a half-earth rank technique? He had grasped a real earth rank technique. Moreover, the opponent's 5 variations were still weak in his eyes. He had the great dragon sword spirit and could evolve thousands of variations to attack at will. The two of them were not on the same level. Moreover, Lin Xian had lost interest in this match. Wuxiao could not arouse the fighting spirit in his heart. 10,000 Beast Fist, is this your trump card? Then let's end this match. Lin Xian's voice was calm as if he was talking about something insignificant. And? With just you? Wuxiao snorted. There was a trace of anger in his voice. He had already used a half-earth rank technique and shattered the opponent's attack. Could be said that he had the upper hand. However, the opponent's expression remained the same as if nothing had happened. There were no fluctuations in his emotions. This made him feel as if he had punched cotton. He was very unhappy. It was reasonable to say that he had defeated the opponent's attack. Lin Xian should be panicking. This was what he wanted. But now Lin Xian did not have any expression at all. He did not even take it seriously. This was completely different from what he had expected. This made Wuxiao feel a deep sense of defeat. Pretentious, you must be pretentious. Wait until I beat you to the ground. Let's see how you will pretend. Wuxiao snorted in his heart. He was sure that Lin Xian was pretending to be calm. In fact, he did not have much battle strength left. Whether it ends or not, I have the final say. Do you think you still have the right to decide? Wuxiao sneered. Then he quickly punched out and condensed another ferocious beast. 3 terrifying beasts circled around him, forming a terrifying aura. It was as if a demon king had come out. Brat, I'm tired of playing. Go to hell. Wuxiao sneered. The 3 beasts behind him all pounced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian raised his left hand. He used the concept of wind and quickly condensed the clear wind bow. His right hand used the concept of thunder. Golden lightning danced and intertwined to form a golden arrow. Then, he knocked the golden arrow on the clear wind bow and aimed it at Wuxiao. At that moment, a shocking killing intent came from the golden arrow. A terrifying power swept out in all directions. The powerful aura that was emitted from his body stunned everyone present. Heavens, Lin Xian is using an ancient technique again. What a violent aura of thunder. Could it be that he has grasped other concepts besides the concept of wind? The Wang family elders were also shocked. They had already sensed that there were two powerful concepts surrounding Lin Xian. Damn little thief, how can he grasp two concepts at the same time? Is he really a peerless genius? Not good, I'm afraid Huaxiao is in danger. On the stage, ever since the clear wind bow and the golden arrow appeared, Huaxiao's entire body tensed up. He felt as if he was being stared at by the god of death. It was a kind of trembling that came from his soul. Especially when Lin Xian aimed the bow at him, that feeling became even more intense. It was as if his soul would scatter in the next moment. This is impossible. Huaxiao was horrified. A spirit-detecting brat could actually bring him the feeling of death. This was inconceivable. It had to be known that he had used the longevity fist to suppress his opponent. But in just a moment, the situation had reversed. The concept of wind and thunder. Damn it, he actually has two concepts. At this moment, Huaxiao's expression was extremely ugly. He could sense that there were two powerful concepts on Lin Xian's body. Each concept was extremely powerful on its own, and now that they were combined together, they were even more powerful. Am I going to lose? A sense of helplessness rose in his heart. The golden arrow was too powerful. It suppressed him to the point that he couldn't even lift his head. But he was unwilling. He was an extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist and the master of the Wang family's battle arena. If he admitted defeat like this, then he would become a laughingstock. Chapter 593. That was why he couldn't admit defeat. However, if he didn't admit defeat, he would very likely be hit by the golden arrow. With that kind of terrifying aura, even if he didn't die, he would still be half dead. If he didn't have the power of a peak spirit-detecting realm cultivator, the Wang family's battle arena wouldn't want him anymore. That was why he was in a dilemma. Whether he surrendered or not, the result would be the same. A single golden arrow had forced Huaxiao into a life-and-death situation. Huaxiao was extremely angry. In the end, he decided to go all out. Circulating all the spirit energy in his body, two more demonic beast phantoms appeared beside Huaxiao. 5 demonic beast phantoms circled around him and attacked with the 10,000 beast fist. At this moment, he didn't hold back and used his strongest power. The 5 demonic beasts roared and released a powerful force that caused the space in front of them to collapse. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect Huaxiao to use 5 demonic beasts at the same time. 5 variations of the 10,000 beast fist. It seems like Huaxiao is desperate. That Lin Xian is too terrifying. Especially that golden arrow, it makes me feel like my heart is being torn apart. I wonder what the final result will be. Everyone discussed and paid attention. Lin Xian smirked when he saw the 5 ferocious beasts roaring. He circulated his spirit energy and used the 2 domains of wind and lightning. The clear wind bow and the golden arrow released a bright light as the 2 domains circled around them. In the next moment, Lin Xian attacked. The golden arrow was like a bolt of golden lightning as it shot out. Not only was there Lin Xian's golden lightning, but there was also the power of wind from the clear wind bow. The 2 energies intertwined and formed a terrifying force. In an instant, the 5 demonic beast phantoms were mercilessly pierced through without any pause. The 2 of them weren't even on the same level. What? It was pierced through in one move. Seeing that his strongest attack couldn't even block a single arrow, Huaxiao's heart was filled with despair. Only now did he realize that Lin Xian's calmness wasn't an act, but a genuine confidence. This was because he and Lin Xian weren't on the same level. Feeling the threat to his life, Huaxiao no longer cared about anything else. Right now, preserving his life was the most important thing. At worst, he would just leave Quicksand City in the future. Therefore he did not stop. His body flashed and turned into a shadow as he quickly ran out of the arena. At that moment, the demeanor of an expert and a genius was all gone. He was like a stray dog, miserable and pitiful. Looking at Huaxiao's fleeing figure, everyone sighed. They didn't expect that the incomparably powerful expert of the Wang clan would actually flee at this moment. This situation was really ironic. The faces of those from the Wang clan were terrifyingly dark. This was definitely a huge humiliation. Their number 1 expert actually ran away at the last moment. This made them want to die. Huaxiao transformed into a blur of light and quickly fled. However, the golden arrow behind him was even faster. In an instant, it had arrived behind Huaxiao. Huaxiao felt the shocking power coming from behind him, and his face was filled with shock. He couldn't withstand such a terrifying aura. The next moment he condensed all the spiritual energy in his body, and 5 demonic beast phantoms quickly appeared behind him. They merged together to form the strongest defense. However, he had still underestimated the power of the golden arrow. The 5 phantoms didn't have any effect and were quickly pierced through. Then the golden arrow pierced Huajiao's body and nailed him to the ground. Huajiao's entire body was nailed to the ground. Traces of blood flowed out from the wound and soon dyed the ground red. Huajiao's body trembled and his expression was one of terror. Almost just a bit more and it would have pierced his heart. If that happened, he would have really died. Although he wasn't dead, he was seriously injured. It would be a long time before he could display the power of a spirit-detecting realm cultivator. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. Wuxiao used the last of his strength to roar. Once these words were spoken, everyone was in an uproar. The #1 expert of the Wang clan had lost, and in such a sorry state at that. They had never thought that this would happen. The faces of those from the Wang clan darkened, and many disciples collapsed to the ground. There was a sense of despair in their hearts. How long had it been since someone had won 10 consecutive battles? Moreover, the #1 expert they had always admired was nailed to the ground like a dead dog. This scene was simply too shocking. Yes, we won. This is great. Below, Black Pearl was so excited that she danced with joy. Her eyes narrowed into crescents. She was truly too excited. It has to be said that the payout for the last round was 1 to 10, which meant that her spirit stones had increased by 10 times. This was a great fortune for her. Nan Gongseng was also filled with joy. Aside from earning spirit stones, he had also made a friend with limitless potential like Lin Xian. This would be very good for him and his clan in the future. Lin Xian stepped through the air and walked down step by step. Finally, he landed on the stage and looked at the red-robed referee. I say, you can announce the results now. Hearing this, the red-robed referee's face sank and a strong killing intent appeared in his eyes. What? Could it be that the Wang clan's casino can't afford to lose? Or are you unwilling to part with the rewards? Lin Xian shrugged. If that's the case, then forget it. It's just a competition. My Wang clan's child can afford to lose. The red-robed old man gritted his teeth. This brat in front of him was simply too despicable. He wanted to slap him to death. Oh, is that so? Then I've already won 10 in a row. Hurry up and give me the rewards and spirit stones. Lin Xian smiled. He was really afraid that the Wang clan would cheat him of his rewards. However, in front of everyone, the Wang clan would definitely not dare to hide it. The Wang clan's faces darkened as they gritted their teeth and looked at Lin Xian. However, in front of so many people, they could not go back on their words. Soon, someone handed over the rewards for winning 10 in a row and the spirit stones that Lin Xian had bet. Lin Xian had bet 300,000 mid-grade spirit stones at the beginning. Now that he had 5 million spirit stones in his hands, it had increased by more than 10 times. The speed of earning money was simply too fast. Moreover, the rewards for winning 10 in a row were even more generous. Even a peak spirit-detecting realm martial artist would be jealous. After putting away the rewards and spirit stones, Lin Xian put away the golden arrow. Seeing the smile on Lin Xian's face, the Wang clan's elder was furious. He had decided that as soon as Lin Xian walked out of the Wang clan's arena, they would assassinate him. However, in the next moment, Lin Xian's words caused their bodies to tremble and they almost fell to the ground. And the rewards are not bad. Then I'll be back tomorrow. Lin Xian smiled. Hearing this, the Wang clan's elder's body twitched and he almost fainted. Come back tomorrow? Everyone was stunned. Their mouths twitched as they looked at Lin Xian with a strange expression. Chapter 594. Come again tomorrow? Immediately, many people became excited. One had to know that the Wang family's expert had just been defeated, which meant that there were no experts left in the Wang family's arena. If Lin Xian came again tomorrow, no one would be able to resist him. If the Wang family couldn't handle this matter well, their status might plummet. One had to know that many people were eyeing the Wang family's arena. On the second floor, the black-robed elder's face was gloomy. Send someone to kill this kid tonight. We can't let him live to see tomorrow's sun. The black-robed elder ordered. His voice was cold and emotionless. No matter what the other party did, as long as they could kill him, he wouldn't be able to come again tomorrow. At that time, the Wang family's crisis would be resolved. Lin Xian's words angered the Wang family members, and the surrounding crowd was in an uproar. These people were too excited. Today's battle was too exciting. Every battle could be called a classic. Moreover, they had witnessed the rise of a peerless genius like Lin Xian. Because of the arrival of goddess Morong, many geniuses from outside the domain had come to Quicksand City. Now that a genius like Lin Xian had appeared, there would definitely be an intense battle. Just thinking about it made people excited. Lin Xian collected the spirit stones and left the Wang family's arena with Nan Gongseng and Black Pearl. Brother Lin, you must have angered the Wang family by obtaining 10 consecutive victories. I don't think they'll let this go. Why don't you stay at my Nan Gongseng tonight? Thank you for your kindness, brother Nan Gongseng. I don't care about a mere Wang family. Lin Xian smiled and shook his head. Don't worry. If there's any danger, I'll definitely ask for your help. Lin Xian was very strong now. He didn't fear martial artists below the Venerable Realm. Even if a Venerable Realm martial artist attacked, he had a certain degree of confidence that he could escape. That was why he had the courage to stay alone. After temporarily bidding farewell to Nan Gongseng and Black Pearl, Lin Xian returned to the mansion he had just bought. Although this exquisite courtyard was in a bustling city, it was filled with tranquility. Lin Xian walked in and quickly forgot about the previous battle. His heart was calm. The battle during the day had deepened his comprehension of the concepts of wind and lightning. Moreover, he had unexpectedly obtained an ancient lost skill, the Clear Wind Bow. The Clear Wind Bow combined with the Golden Arrow could fully display the power of the two concepts of wind and lightning. Could be said to be an extremely powerful killing move. Lin Xian sat cross-legged under an ancient tree and began to comprehend in silence. While Lin Xian was cultivating, the Wang clan was also moving in secret. When Lin Xian walked out of the Wang family's coliseum, they sent a martial practitioner who was skilled in concealment and tracking to follow him. That martial artist was truly amazing. He had managed to hide from Lin Xian's perception and secretly followed them. In the end, he found Lin Xian's residence, so he went back to report. When they found out that Lin Xian was living alone, everyone in the Wang clan revealed sinister smiles. Damned little thief. This time I must kill him here. I'll go kill him. The red-robed judge's voice was cold. Before, he had personally witnessed Lin Xian defeating the Wang clan's geniuses one by one. Needless to say, his mood was extremely sullen. Now that he had a chance to kill Lin Xian, he naturally wouldn't miss it. This matter must be kept a secret. Otherwise, my Wang clan will be in big trouble, the black-robed elder said. Killing a contestant was a great taboo, especially a genius like Lin Xian. First, these geniuses all had powerful forces behind them. Second, other martial practitioners would be furious. If they really angered everyone, the Wang clan would be in big trouble. That was why the black-robed elder was so cautious. Don't worry. I'll bring an illusion array to completely seal that place. When the time comes, that little thief won't be able to escape. The red-robed elder sneered. After discussing the countermeasures, the red-robed elder set off. In order to avoid being discovered, he went alone this time. The red-robed elder was also a martial artist at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. However, he had been in this realm for many years and was abnormally powerful. He was far from someone of the younger generation like Wuxia. Therefore, the Wang clan was very relieved to send him this time. At night, the cold moon shone alone. It was the latter half of the night and there were very few people on the road. The moment the red-robed elder came out, he turned into a ray of light and disappeared into the sky. His speed was very fast and it didn't take long for him to arrive at Lin Xian's courtyard. With a wave of his hand, the red-robed elder threw out an illusion array that covered the entire courtyard. Below, Lin Xian was sitting under an ancient tree and cultivating. Suddenly he opened his eyes. At this moment his eyes were very sharp. They were like two rays of sword light that pierced into the void. Haha, damn little thief. Let's see how you'll escape this time. An old man sneered. This voice was very arrogant and didn't hide it at all. Then the red-robed elder's figure appeared in the void. What followed was an endless pressure that covered the sky and the earth, enveloping the entire courtyard. Lin Xian looked at the figure above. He didn't need to think to know that the other party was definitely here to kill him. However, he didn't expect such a big move. As if he had seen through Lin Xian's doubts, the red-robed old man sneered and said, "Don't even think about escaping. No one will come to save you because I've already set up the illusory spirit defensive formation. The outside world will not know anything that happens here. So, just wait for your death obediently." The red-robed elder was very confident. He was very powerful and didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes at all. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't fight in the arena, he would have killed this despicable little thief with a slap. I see. A defensive array is exactly what I want. This way, I don't have to worry about anything. Lin Xian smiled. You're about to die and you still dare to be so arrogant. You really don't know how to write the word, death. The red-robed elder snorted. He didn't see Lin Xian's helpless and frightened expression, which made him very unhappy. Therefore he planned to use all the torture methods in the world until he tortured Lin Xian to death. Little thief, I'll let you know the consequences of offending the Wang family. The red-robed elder sneered and quickly rushed over. In his hand, a blood-red spear was condensed. It was full of murderous intent and there were even drops of blood dripping from it. This aura was abnormally strong, far stronger than He Zhao's. The entire void couldn't withstand it and countless small black cracks appeared. The red-robed elder's face was ferocious. He seemed to have seen Lin Xian being pierced by the blood-red spear. However, the next moment he was stunned. This was because he saw a sword, a blood-red sword. It was scarlet, demonic, bloodthirsty, and murderous. The powerful murderous aura shrouded the surroundings and dyed the surroundings blood-red. It was like hell. The red-robed elder's heart trembled. The blood-red sword was too terrifying. It was far stronger than his blood-red spear. It even made him feel like he was facing death. Chapter 595. Impossible. How can you have such a powerful martial skill? The red-robed elder cried out. He was stunned. Lin Xian's blood-colored sword was too terrifying. Its power far exceeded that of a peak spirit-detecting realm martial artist. Did you hide your strength? The red-robed elder screamed. If that was the case, then it was too terrifying. The youth in front of him was only at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm, but his strength surpassed his. This was too terrifying. This youth was probably very close to the top geniuses of the Sand region. No, I have to send the news back to the family. The red-robed elder was anxious. Their previous analysis was wrong. This youth's strength had completely exceeded their expectations. Run. This was his only thought. He couldn't resist that blood-colored sword. You want to leave? Don't you think it's too late? Lin Xian sneered. This Wang family was indeed sinister. Just because he obtained 10 consecutive victories, they wanted to kill him. This kind of family didn't deserve to come to the arena. Since they wanted his life, he didn't plan to let them go. Therefore he used the sword of slaughter from the start. Looking at the red-robed elder who had turned into a blur, Lin Xian raised the sword of slaughter and quickly swung it down. The blood-colored sword aura surged and instantly submerged the red-robed elder. No! The red-robed elder roared unwillingly. He struggled with all his might, but it was useless. In the end he was completely submerged. The next moment the blood-colored sword aura disappeared, and the red-robed elder's corpse fell from the sky. Lin Xian waved his arm and sent out a ball of spirit flame, burning the corpse. Then he stepped into the air and used his soul power to sense the illusion array outside. Relying on his outstanding soul power and knowledge of array formations, he quickly collected this illusion array. Then he sat cross-legged under the ancient tree to cultivate. In the Wang family's arena, a group of people were anxiously waiting. It's been so long. Why isn't he back yet? Did something happen? He's just a little thief. What could happen? Many people snorted. In their eyes, the red-robed elder can easily kill Lin Xian. Yeah, maybe the elder is torturing that kid. Someone laughed. Okay, let's wait patiently. The black-robed elder said. However, as time passed, the Wang family's disdain turned into suspicion. Finally, they all frowned. Did something really happen? This time no one answered. Why don't I go take a look? An elder said. The black-robed elder nodded. The sack-robed elder was stronger than the red-robed judge. Therefore, no one objected to the sack-robed elder's decision. Seeing that the black-robed elder had agreed, the hemp-robed elder did not linger. He quickly turned into a ray of light and flew into the distance. Soon he arrived at Lin Xian's residence. Then he frowned because it was too quiet. It was quiet all around. There was not a single sound and the surrounding buildings were in perfect condition. There were no traces of fighting. The hemp-robed old man was puzzled. Then he reached out with his soul. With doubts in his heart, the old man decided to go down and take a look. In any case, even if a thief had some tricks up his sleeve, it was impossible for him to harm him. With a snort, the elder quickly landed in the courtyard. However, as soon as he landed, the spiritual energy in the surroundings surged. An illusory spirit defense array appeared and covered the surroundings. The family's illusory spirit array? The elder frowned. He had a bad feeling. Old Ache, are you there? The old man in linen robes shouted. However, no one answered. At that moment a voice said, Stop shouting. He won't answer you. The old man's heart shook when he heard this, and he swiftly turned around and cried out involuntarily. It's you? He was stunned when he saw the figure behind him. You're not dead? The old man's heart was in turmoil. Naturally he saw Lin Xian. If Lin Xian was still alive, then the red-robed elder might be. You're right, that guy is dead, Lin Xian said in a low voice. Thief, what trick did you use? How dare you kill an elder of the Wang family? The elder shouted. You're dead. I'm going to rip your tendons out and refine your soul. I'll make you wish you were dead. Cut the crap. You'll join him soon. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. Don't think that the Wang family can do whatever you want. Since you want to kill me, you should be prepared to be killed. Killed? You? The elder sneered. Kid, I don't know how you killed old 8, but if you think you can kill me, you're too naive. The old man laughed maniacally, but soon his laughter stopped. It was as if someone had grabbed him by the neck and stopped abruptly. That was because he saw a sword. A pitch-black sword. Gloomy, cold, silent, and dead. That kind of aura made one despair. Impossible. What kind of move is this? The elder screamed. He realized that the aura was too strong. He could not resist it at all. Now he suddenly understood that old 8 might not have been assassinated, but killed in an instant. The young man in front of him was too strange. His strength was beyond everyone's expectations. Damn it. The elder's face was ferocious. He did not care about anything else and ran away. However, that pitch-black sword suddenly appeared in front of him. Misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. The elder squeezed out an ugly smile. However, Lin Xian did not care at all. The silent sword continued to descend. If you dare to kill me, the Wang family will not let you go. The elder saw that begging for mercy was useless and immediately became ferocious. However, no matter what, he could not escape. Puchi. The silent sword pierced the elder's chest and took away all of his life force. A single sword strike had killed the hemp-robed elder. The Wang family had sent 2 elders at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm, but they were both killed. The next time they sent someone, it might be a group attack. Lin Xian guessed that the possibility of sending a supremacy was not high, so he was not too worried. Compared to Lin Xian, the Wang family was in a terrible mood. They had already sent out 2 elders, but there was no news from the 2 of them. This gave them a very bad premonition in their hearts. In the end, the black-robed elder could not help but send someone to investigate. Soon someone reported back. Elder, that thief's courtyard is very quiet, and there are no signs of fighting, a warrior said. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. They felt as if the 2 elders had disappeared. If that was the case, it was too terrifying. Impossible, the 2 elders are very powerful. How could that thief be a match for them? Since that thief can't be killed, there is only one possibility. There must be an expert by his side. Chapter 596. According to the Wang family's analysis, they discovered that there was likely a mysterious expert behind Lin Xian. If that was the case, then things would become very troublesome. Based on the current situation, the mysterious expert behind Lin Xian was very powerful. His strength might be above the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. As for whether he had reached the venerable realm, it was unknown. They could not assassinate Lin Xian at all in the face of such a powerhouse. Thinking of this, the Wang family's faces darkened. Damn it, are we just going to let it go like this? Someone was unwilling to give up. Lin Xian had injured several of their experts, causing the Wang clan's battle arena to lose face in front of everyone, making them unable to raise their heads. Every time they thought of this, they had the urge to vomit blood. Therefore, they had to get rid of Lin Xian. Only then would they feel at ease. We'll also send out venerables. I don't believe that mysterious expert can fight against our entire Wang family. No. The black-robed elder shook his head. The combat strength of a venerable is too terrifying. If we act rashly, it will definitely attract the attention of other forces. If this matter is exposed, it will be very disadvantageous to the Wang family. That would be extremely disadvantageous to our Wang clan. So, we absolutely can't dispatch Exalt Realm experts unless we have no other choice. As for that thief, of course we can't let him go. Let's close the dojo for a few days and recruit some powerful young martial artists. Firstly, our Wang family lost many experts in this battle, and it also exposed the weakness of our dojo. Especially this time, many geniuses from other regions have come. We must be prepared. Isn't that thief going to come again? When we find enough battle strength, we'll directly kill him in the arena. At that time, Even the mysterious expert behind him would not be able to stop him. The black-robed elder's voice was cold. Everyone nodded in agreement. Not only could this method kill that detestable thief, but it could also increase the strength of their dojo. Could be said to be killing two birds with one stone. Soon these people began to act. The next day, the news that the Wang family's dojo was temporarily closed spread. Immediately, everyone was shocked. The Wang family's dojo was considered a medium-sized dojo, and its business was usually good. When it suddenly closed this time, many people were stunned. Very soon, news of Lin Xian's 10 consecutive victories and the defeat of the Wang family's experts spread like wildfire. Many people were shocked. For a moment, Lin Xian and the Wang clan's battle arena were pushed into the center of the storm. When Lin Xian heard about this, he was also stunned. He didn't expect the Wang family's dojo to be closed. Soon after, he shook his head and stopped paying attention to it. It seemed like the Wang family had been dealt a heavy blow, so they wouldn't make a move against him for a while. He could use this time to exchange some of the resources he had on him. Although he wasn't very familiar with Quicksand City, with Nan Gongseng's help, things should go smoothly. When Lin Xian found Nan Gongseng and told him his idea, Nan Gongseng's eyes lit up and he slapped his thigh. This is fate, Brother Lin. I just happened to know of a small-scale exchange meeting, and its standards can be said to be the highest beneath the Exalt realm. I'll take you there in a few days. Hearing Nan Gongseng's introduction, Lin Xian's eyes lit up. This exchange meeting was held between the major forces of Quicksand City and was very secretive. Moreover, it was generally not open to the public. If one wasn't invited, they definitely wouldn't be able to enter. Moreover, this exchange meeting was conducted by bartering. Generally, the items that appeared were relatively rare resources, which was completely in line with Lin Xian's requirements. After bidding farewell to Nan Gongseng, Lin Xian returned to his courtyard and began to prepare the items he wanted to exchange. Lin Xian prepared to sell some of the useless spirit-grade artifacts. In addition, he also planned to sell a 3,000-year-old spirit herb and two 1,000-year-old spirit herbs. As for what he wanted to exchange, he hadn't thought about it yet. He could only wait until the time of the exchange to choose. In addition, he had many primal yang stones on him, but he didn't plan to take them out. He, the dark red dragon, and the snow-white monkey all needed primal yang stones. Moreover, primal yang stones were too important. If he took them out, it would definitely attract the attention of others. Lin Xian didn't want to cause trouble for himself. 3 days later, Nan Gongseng came to find him. The two didn't stop and immediately set off. Nan Gongseng led the way in the city. Soon they arrived at a secret place. Nan Gongseng took out an ancient token and poured his spirit energy into it. Then he shone it at the high wall in front of them. Suddenly, the ancient token bloomed with light and a huge ancient character appeared. The high wall in front of them became hazy and ripples appeared. Then the scene in front of them changed and an illusory door appeared. It's a strange space. The dark red dragon hid in Lin Xian's sleeve and was surprised. Upon hearing the dark red divine dragon's voice transmission, Lin Xian was also surprised. He took a few more glances at the front. Brother Lin, the small exchange meeting is inside. Let's go in. Nan Gongseng took back the token and said with a smile. Okay. Lin Xian nodded. Then the two entered the illusory door. After entering, Lin Xian found that the scenery inside was very different. It was different from the quicksand and rocks outside. The buildings inside could be said to be very exquisite. There were tall halls, exquisite pavilions, rockeries, flying stones and waterfalls everywhere. It was like a paradise on earth. Who are you? Suddenly, a cold voice came from the front. Lin Xian squinted his eyes and looked forward. He saw a few figures flying over from a pavilion in the distance. They were very fast and arrived in front of the two in an instant. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A few silhouettes landed. Their bodies carried a sharp aura, and their eyes were filled with vigilance. We are from the Nan Gongseng family. Nan Gongseng handed over the token. That's right. The token is correct. You may enter. Those people quickly left after checking. Lin Xian was speechless. No wonder Nan Gongseng said that they couldn't enter without proof. The checks were very strict and these people were very strong. Normal people wouldn't be able to force their way in. I hope I can find something useful here. Lin Xian was excited. The two of them quickly walked inside. It's Nan Gongseng. Along the way, many people greeted Nan Gongseng, but even more people looked at Lin Xian. First of all, Lin Xian was a new face. They had never seen him before. Also, Lin Xian's cultivation was only at the mid-stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Although it was not bad outside, it was too low here. Even if he was a disciple of a large family, he wouldn't be qualified to come here. Therefore, everyone looked at Lin Xian with doubt. Some people looked at him with disdain. No matter how Lin Xian came in, his strength wasn't enough. He wasn't even comparable to the servants here. Such a person wouldn't cooperate with them. Brother Nangong sang, "You're finally here." Chapter 597. Brother Nangong, you're finally here. A loud laugh rang out. The newcomer was a burly man with bronze skin that was filled with explosive power. Behind him was a silver spear that was shining with silver light. This person's aura was as powerful as a mountain. Although he didn't deliberately release it, the pressure still made many people's hearts tremble. "Brother Rulong, long time no see. Your strength has improved a lot," Nan Gongseng said with a smile. The two exchanged a few words before the burly man looked at Lin Xian and asked, "Brother Nangong, who is this?" Hearing this, the surrounding martial artists all turned their heads with a trace of curiosity. "This is Lin Xian, Brother Lin. He's also a young genius." "Oh, is that so? To be praised by Brother Nangong, he must be extraordinary." The burly man was stunned for a moment before greeting Lin Xian with a smile. Lin Xian returned the greeting with a smile. However, the surrounding people weren't so polite. Many of them snorted. They clearly didn't believe that Lin Xian was a young genius. Otherwise, why would he only be at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm? "Please come in," the burly man Marulong said. Then Lin Xian and Nangong Xing walked in. This space was much larger than they had imagined. There were many palaces around them. Marulong led Lin Xian and Nangong Xing to a silver palace. "Brother Nangong, Brother Lin, please fill in what you want to exchange here. I'll go greet another guest." "Oh? Guest? What guest?" Nangong Seng was puzzled. He knew Marulong's identity. He was also a disciple of one of the top forces in Quicksand City. Even this small space belonged to his family. A guest that he had to personally greet must be extraordinary. Speaking of which, this is also an important guest. I'm sure you've heard of his name. Marulong said, "His name is Xin Yaotian." "Xin Yaotian?" Nan Gongseng was stunned for a moment before exclaiming, "Is it that Xin family?" "That's right. He's from the Xin clan of the Sky Martial region. The Xin Yaotian is very strong. His cultivation base is extremely high. He can even fight against those geniuses. Rumor has it that he's following the heavenly daughter of the Murong family. Since he's passing by this time, it just so happens that he wants to participate in the rare treasures exchange." Lin Xian was astonished. He had heard of the geniuses from the Sand region, and they could be said to be extremely powerful existences. He had never thought that Xin Yaotian would be able to contend with them. He was definitely a terrifying figure. "I didn't expect that the Xin family would also come. It seems that Quicksand City will be interesting this time." Nan Gongxing smiled. "The Xin family?" Lin Xian frowned as he recalled a figure from his memories. The Xin family is a super family in the central region of the Sky Martial continent. They have a King Realm expert as their leader. They are one of the top existences in the Sky Martial region. And this Xin Yaotian is one of the more outstanding members of the Xin family's younger generation. King Clan. Lin Xian sucked in a cold breath. In the Tianan region, Venerables were the strongest fighting force and could dominate a region. However, the Sky Martial region was different. Although Venerables were part of the upper echelons, they were not the top. The top warriors were King Realm experts. Only those with King Realm experts were the top existences in the continent. And the Xin family was such an existence. "The two of you can sit in the tranquil palace for a while. I'll be back soon," Marulong said. Then he turned around and left. Lin Xian and Nan Gongxing walked into the silver palace behind him. "Brother Lin, what are you going to exchange this time?" Nan Gongxing asked. Just now, he had pretended to pay attention to Xin Yaotian's news and did not pay attention to Lin Xian's information. "Nothing much. There are some spiritual treasures and 3 spiritual herbs." Lin Xian did not plan to hide it. After all, he had already filled in the information. It would not take long for those people to find out. "Oh, spiritual herbs? What kind of spiritual herbs?" Nan Gongxing asked. Obviously, he had ignored the spiritual treasures. Instead, he was very interested in the spiritual herbs. A 3,000-year-old purple sunflower and 2 1,000-year-old blood ginseng. "What? 3,000-year-old purple sunflower?" Nan Gongxing exclaimed and jumped up. His expression was even more surprised than when he heard about Xin Yaotian. Seeing Nan Gongxing's reaction, Lin Xian was stunned. Although 3,000-year-old spiritual herbs were rare, there was no need for such a reaction. Seeing Lin Xian's confused expression, Nan Gongxing tried his best to calm himself down. After a long time he slowly exhaled. "Brother Lin, it seems like you really don't know much about the sand region." Nan Gongxing said, "The sand region's climate is abnormal. It lacks water, so some spiritual herbs cannot grow here. Not to mention 3,000-year-old spiritual herbs, even 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs are rare." With Nan Gongxing's explanation, Lin Xian finally understood. Although the Tianwu region was vast, it was divided into regions. For example, in the sand region, spiritual herbs were rare. On the other hand, precious stones and ores were abundant. Therefore, when Lin Xian said 3,000-year-old spiritual herbs, Nan Gongxing had such a big reaction. Not to mention Nan Gongxing, even the patriarch of the Nan Gongxing family would be tempted. After hearing this news, Lin Xian frowned. He did not know the importance of spiritual herbs in the sand region, so he took out 3 spiritual herbs, one of which was 3,000-year-old. But now it seemed that this was a little troublesome. He did not believe that the people from the big factions could restrain their desires. As if sensing Lin Xian's worry, Nan Gongxing comforted him. "Brother Lin, don't worry. The standards of this exchange are very high and the rules are strict. No one will cause trouble." "I hope so." Lin Xian sighed heavily. He realized that in the sand region he could not reveal any other spiritual herbs. At this moment, a group of people suddenly landed in front of the main hall and quickly walked over. These people were all outstanding and had extraordinary bearings. Powerful auras flowed around their bodies. It was obvious that they were young experts. One of them was even more powerful. He had blue hair and his eyes were as bright as the stars. There were blue halos around his body, making him look like an immortal king. "This is Xin Yaotian from the Xin family. People call him Young Master Yaotian," Ma Rulong introduced. The blue-haired youth looked at Lin Xian and Nan Gongxing with a deep gaze and nodded slightly as a greeting. However, his arrogant expression made Nan Gongxing unhappy. Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that Xin Yaotian was also an arrogant and conceited person. Then Ma Rulong started to introduce Nan Gongxing and Lin Xian. Xin Yaotian did not react to Nan Gongxing. Instead he stared at Lin Xian. "Are you the one who wants to sell the 3,000-year-old violet sunflower?" Xin Yaotian asked in a deep voice. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Then they looked at Lin Xian with burning eyes. Chapter 598. No wonder he was in such a hurry to come here. It seemed like his target was the 3,000-year-old purple sunflower. Seeing everyone's gaze, Lin Xian nodded. There was no point in denying it now. He might as well admit it openly. "Very well, kneel down and offer the purple sunflower to me. I can consider letting you become the Xin family's battle servant," Xin Yaotian said condescendingly. Hearing this, everyone was stunned. Then they all looked at Lin Xian. Especially those who came with Xin Yaotian, they all had mocking expressions. Lin Xian's face darkened. He secretly activated the great dragon sword soul in his body, ready to attack at any time. Nan Gongxing also roared angrily. "Xin Yaotian, what is the meaning of this?" Xin Yaotian's condescending attitude just now made him unhappy. Now Xin Yaotian actually wanted Xian to kneel down and offer a 3,000-year-old spirit herb. This was simply bullying. "What is the meaning of this? Don't you understand?" Xin Yaotian revealed a disdainful smile. He turned and stared at Lin Xian. "Looks like you still don't understand the strength of my aunt's Xin family. Not just anyone can become the Xin family's battle servant. So many people want to join the Xin family. Now that you have received a great benefit, why aren't you kneeling down and thanking us?" Xin Yaotian's face was full of arrogance. It was as if he had bestowed Lin Xian a great favor. Lin Xian's eyes darkened. The Xin Yaotian was too much. Not only did he want him to offer a 3,000-year-old spirit herb for free, but he also wanted him to become the Xin family's servant. Not only that, in Xin Yaotian's eyes, he even wanted him to kneel down and thank him. At this moment, Lin Xian's heart was burning with anger. Cold sword intent surged in his body as if it would rush out at any time. "What if I don't give it to you?" Lin Xian's voice was cold. He suppressed the anger in his heart and did not attack. "Don't give it to you?" Xin Yaotian laughed. "Do you think you have the ability to decide this matter?" He looked very arrogant and did not put Lin Xian in his eyes at all. "Brother Xin, the rules of the rare treasures exchange are to exchange items. If you really want the 3,000-year-old purple sunflower, why don't you exchange it with something else?" Ma Rulong said. He was the host of this rare treasures exchange meeting, so naturally he didn't want things to get out of hand. Exchange? Xin Yaotian revealed a faint smile. Brother Ma, you think too highly of this brat. He is just an ant at the mid-stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Being able to enter this exchange is already a great gift for him, yet he still wants to trade? This was simply a fantasy story. The martial artists following behind Xin Yaotian also laughed foolishly. Humph, a piece of trash who came in through connections actually dares to reject young Master Akash. He really does not know how to spell the word death. Brat, hurry up and hand over the 3,000-year-old violet sunflower, or else you won't be able to bear the consequences. All of you are looking down on my Ma family. Ma Rulong's face sank. Brother Ma has misunderstood. Xin Yaotian laughed. Our actions aren't targeted at Brother Ma, it's just that this ant isn't willing to exchange with us. I don't want to affect our relationship because of a piece of trash at the mid-stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Xin Yaotian's voice was flat, but there was a hint of threat in his words. Such a nice social exchange was actually ruined by a bunch of random people. It's fine if I don't participate in this social exchange. Brother Lin, let's go. Nan Gongxing snorted coldly. His handsome face was a little ferocious. Brother Rulong, I'll take my leave. I'll visit you another day. Nan Gongxing pulled Lin Xian and was about to leave. It won't be that easy to leave. Several martial artists blocked the door, blocking Lin Xian and Nan Gongxing's path. You can leave, but he can't. Those people pointed at Lin Xian with a sharp aura. Fuck. Nan Gongxing was so angry that his body trembled. Brother Xin, I hope you won't break the rules of the rare treasure gathering. Ma Rulong's expression was very ugly. Don't worry, Brother Rulong. I'll quickly solve this problem. Xin Yaotian's body was surrounded by blue rings, and he was very confident. Now you have two choices. One is to kneel down and offer up the violet sunflower. I can let you become the Xin family's battle servant. The second choice? You can refuse, but the violet sunflower will still be mine in the end. As for you? Those who dare to disobey my orders have never lived past the second day. At the end of his words, Xin Yaotian's body emitted a powerful killing intent that surrounded the entire hall. Nan Gongxing was so angry that he stomped his feet. Xin Yaotian was too overbearing and shameless. He wanted to snatch Lin Xian's spirit herb. There was no room for negotiation. How was he a disciple of a big family? He was clearly a robber. Lin Xian's expression was cold. The sword intent in his body surged as if it would burst out at any time. Xin Yaotian smiled disdainfully as if he had sensed Lin Xian's aura. Don't even think about attacking. You don't have the qualifications. Fine, I'll tell you. Let us show you the difference between us. Xin Yaotian said. I've already reached the half-step venerable realm. You only need a finger to kill you. Xin Yaotian looked at Lin Xian like a dragon looking at an ant. Brother Xin, why do you have to do this? With your status, it shouldn't be difficult for you to exchange for this 3,000-year-old violet sunflower. Ma Rulong sighed. Xin Yaotian smiled. It's indeed not difficult for me to exchange for a 3,000-year-old spirit herb. But an ant isn't worthy of my exchange. His star rings shone and emitted a terrifying aura. He was a star war god walking in the mortal world. Moreover, I've already given him a choice. If he can join the Xin family, it'll be a great gift to him. Damn, this is too much. Nan Gongxing's face was ashen. He couldn't stand it anymore. Lin Xian was his friend, but Xin Yaotian kept looking for trouble. He didn't put him in his eyes at all. So what if I'm bullying you? Xin Yaotian took a step forward, and the rings of stars around him shone brightly. They were like huge stars floating around him. A terrifying aura enveloped the surroundings as if it could tear the world apart at any time. Xin Yaotian was too strong. He didn't care about Ma Rulong's warning at all. His aura was like the sea of stars. If he didn't agree with him, Xin Yaotian would probably kill him immediately. Ma Rulong's face was gloomy. He was the host of this rare treasure gathering. If he allowed someone to break the rules here, he wouldn't be able to stay in the quicksand stratum anymore. Even if the other party was a genius of the Xin family, he had to stop him. In the next moment he stepped forward. Silver light appeared behind him and formed a silver spear that pierced through the sky. The atmosphere was tense to the extreme. Endless killing intent surrounded them. Xin Yaotian's star rings shone. His sharp aura made many tremble. His gaze was like a star that pierced Lin Xian. Wherever it passed, the void shattered. Xin Yaotian was too strong. As expected of a half-step venerable realm expert. Chapter 599. Shen Yaoyin's body was covered in blue stars, and he was filled with the power of the Decepticon sect. He pointed his finger at Lin Xian. The finger was like a shooting star, and its power could kill any extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artist. Shen Yaotian did not hold back. He wanted to kill Lin Xian and take the 3,000-year-old spiritual herb. The others sneered. In their opinion, Lin Xian had no chance of surviving. Whoosh! At this moment, Marulong made his move. The silver spear on his back surged and emitted a dazzling spear radiance that collided with the star finger. Although Marulong had not reached the half-step honorable realm, he was still very powerful. Therefore, his spear radiance exploded with terrifying energy when it collided with the star finger. The energy was so powerful that it could destroy the entire palace. Fortunately, the two of them stopped and dispersed the energy to avoid disaster. Brother Rulong, don't stop me. I've made up my mind. Shen Yaoyin's voice was cold. Then his body shone like a huge star as he charged at Lin Xian. Umph! Marulong shouted angrily. Spiritual energy surged out of his body and condensed into the shadow of a silver spear. Then the spear swung and stabbed forward. It was like a silver lightning bolt that flew in the air. On the other side, Nan Gongseng also rushed forward. He waved his palms and formed a palm shadow. Although he knew that he could not defeat Shen Yaotian, he still wanted to attack because he was too angry. It's useless. You can't stop me. Shen Yaoyin's voice was cold. He suddenly exerted his strength and his body shone brightly, forming a huge star power. Star Fist. He punched out and a terrifying force surged forward, sending Marulong and Nan Gongseng flying. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He was shocked. Marulong was very powerful, but he could not stop Shen Yaoyin's attack. It was unbelievable. It seemed that Shen Yaotian was stronger than he had imagined. After sending Marulong and Nan Gongseng flying with one punch, Shen Yaotian looked around and reached out a hand to grab Lin Xian. He looked very casual and did not take Lin Xian seriously at all. Marulong's heart sank. Nan Gongseng's expression also changed greatly. Although he had seen how powerful Lin Xian was, he did not think that Lin Xian could compete with Shen Yaotian. After all, even a powerful figure like Marulong was sent flying with a single punch. The strength of a half-step venerable one could be said to be heaven-defying. Perhaps in the entire Sand region, only a few monstrous geniuses could contend with him. Brother Lin, run! Nan Gongseng shouted. You want to leave? Too late. Shen Yaotian snorted coldly. His 5 fingers were like a cage aiming at Lin Xian. In an instant, 5 heavenly pillars appeared in the void, tearing the sky apart. And this is your own choice. Die. Shen Yaoyin's blue hair fluttered in the wind. He was like an astral war god, powerful to the extreme. His hand was like a mountain pressing down on Lin Xian. Lin Xian's expression was cold. In the next moment he pulled out the Wind Shadow Sword and activated his sword intent to the large success stage. His entire body was like an unsheathed sword, sharp to the extreme. With a swing of his sword, the bright sword energy was like a rainbow that quickly slashed through the void. Lin Xian used the Great Dragon Sword intent in this sword. It could be said to be sharp to the extreme. The terrifying sword energy tore through everything as it slashed toward the mountain-like hand. Clang! Rumble, rumble, rumble. The void trembled and the sound waves spread out in all directions. Extremely unstable cracks appeared in the void and quickly spread in all directions. The resplendent sword chi shattered and disappeared in the air. The giant hand that blotted out the sky also paused and became somewhat dim. What? He actually resisted it? That's impossible. The surrounding martial artists were all stunned. They kept rubbing their eyes, not daring to believe what they had just seen. A mid-stage spirit-detecting realm brat had actually resisted Shen Yaoyin's attack with a single sword. If this was told to others, no one would believe it. Who was Shen Yaotian? He was a genius of a king family. Even if he came to Sand Valley, he would be a peak existence. Such a person could kill a group of peak spirit-detecting realm martial artists with a raise of his hand. However, a mid-stage spirit-detecting realm brat had actually blocked his attack. This was too unbelievable. Even if it was just a casual attack from Shen Yaotian, no one could accept it. Shen Yaotian was also slightly startled. You actually blocked it? Interesting. It looks like you're not a complete piece of trash. Brat, I'm someone who cherishes talent. I'll give you one more chance. Kneel down and offer me 3,000 years of violet sunflowers. Then become a battle servant of the Shen family and I'll spare your life. In 100 years you might have a chance to enter the sovereign realm. Shen Yaoyin's voice was cold. He still didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes. Join your grandpa. Lin Xian was furious. He waved his sword and released a terrifying sword energy. Rays of sword energy tore through the void and slashed forward. He was indeed angry. Shen Yaoyan's expression was asking for a beating. He decided to beat Shen Yaotian into a pig's head. Too weak. This little bit of attack has no effect on me at all. Shen Yaoyan's expression was disdainful. His body was surrounded by a halo of stars, making him look like a starry sky war god. Blue fists were swung out and the entire void cracked. Every punch was like a meteorite smashing into the void. The strength was enough to make one's heart tremble. Boom. Boom. Terrifying fist shadows were swung out and collided with the sword energy. Violent energy waves burst out and swept out in all directions. Ma Rulong recovered from his initial shock. He took out the silver spear on his back and used all his strength to eliminate the energy waves. Otherwise, the entire silver palace would be turned into ashes in an instant. One had to admit that Shen Yaotian was too powerful. As expected of a genius disciple of a sovereign family. Those fist shadows all accurately collided with the sword energy and shattered it. Is this your attack? Brat, you're too weak. Shen Yaoyan's expression was cold. In his opinion, although Lin Xian had exceeded his expectations, he still couldn't withstand a single blow. Lin Xian frowned slightly. Shen Yaoyan's strength was beyond his expectations. As expected of a top genius. However, it wouldn't be so easy to take his life. In the next moment he withdrew the wind shadow sword. He reached out with his right hand and a pitch-black sword appeared in front of him. Sword of Nirvana. Lin Xian held the sword. Then the aura on his body changed. In addition to the overflowing sword intent, it also emitted an aura of death and nirvana. It was as if the god of death had just appeared, making one feel despair. Once this aura appeared, it immediately spread out in all directions of the palace. When the martial artists below felt this aura, they were so shocked that their bodies trembled. Many of them revealed looks of horror. Especially those martial artists who had mocked Lin Xian before. Their expressions were very ugly at this moment. Lin Xian's strength was beyond their expectations. Even among them, none of them could withstand this deathly aura. Who is this brat? How can he have such a powerful martial skill? When did such a person appear in Quicksand City? I don't know. He might be a prodigy from another region. Chapter 600. Ma Rulong was also shocked. He had thought that Lin Xian had a good relationship with Nan Gongseng, which was why he had come to the rare treasure exchange. Now it seemed that this was not the case at all. Nan Gongseng probably already knew about Lin Xian's strength, which was why he had brought him here. Furthermore, what shocked him even more was that the pitch-black sword in the void made his heart palpitate. Ma Rulong was shocked. For him to feel this way, it was enough to show how strong Lin Xian was. It has to be said that he had only felt this way when facing Shen Yaotian. Comparing the two made him even more shocked. This Lin Xian was simply too unbelievable. He was only at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm, but his strength had already surpassed the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. Looking at the pitch-black sword in the air, Shen Yaotian also frowned. For the first time his expression became serious. That pitch-black sword made him feel a trace of danger. He hadn't felt this in a long time, but now he felt it from a small cultivator at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Shen Yaotian suddenly felt a trace of anger. He decided that he had to get rid of Lin Xian. The star rings on his body shined even brighter and a terrifying aura spread out from his body. This time the power was even stronger than before. Lin Xian also held the Nirvana sword. A deathly aura spread out from his body as if it was going to suck away all the vitality around him. The two powerful forces continued to rise as if they could collide at any moment. These two forces were too terrifying and had already surpassed the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. The surrounding cultivators all retreated and left the Silver Palace. They didn't dare to stay any longer. If they were even a step late, they would all be sucked into that violent vortex. Lin Xian held the Nirvana sword in his hand as his black hair fluttered in the wind. He was like an Azura from hell, bringing with him a destructive aura. On the other side, Shen Yaotian was surrounded by stars. He was like a god of war and was extremely fierce. Just as the battle was about to break out, an even more powerful force appeared above the palace and enveloped the two of them. Lin Xian frowned and was shocked. He felt that the Nirvana sword was being suppressed and couldn't be swung at all. On the other side, Shen Yaoyan's expression was equally ugly. His astral halo was also greatly suppressed, so much so that he couldn't even swing his fist. This was too inconceivable. One had to know that the two of them were already at the peak of the psychic realm. However, someone was actually able to suppress them with just their aura. One could only imagine the terrifying strength of this person. There was only one kind of person who could have such strength, and that was a venerable one. Moreover, they were not ordinary venerable ones. Sure enough, after the enormous pressure appeared, an aged voice resounded in the hall. "Ha, two little friends, please stop. Otherwise my hall will be torn down by you." An old figure appeared in the void, looking at the two of them with a smile. At that moment, the people that had left earlier followed Marulong in again. However, their expressions were filled with astonishment. "Elder!" Marulong exclaimed when he saw the old man floating in the air. The old man in the air was an elder of their family. Who would have thought that he would make a move here? The elder of the Ma family chuckled and said, "Little friends, I know why you're making a move. How about this old man will settle it for you. Why don't you give the spiritual herb to me?" Hearing that, Lin Xian and Xin Yaotian fell silent. Soon Lin Xian said, "Since senior wants it, I'll naturally comply." In fact, Lin Xian had thought about it carefully. This old man's identity was special, and he was an elder of the Ma family. He probably wouldn't do something like snatch it by force. Moreover, with the relationship between Nan Gongseng and Marulong, he should be able to obtain the corresponding exchange item. Therefore, Lin Xian was very straightforward and directly gave the spiritual herb to the elder. Seeing that Lin Xian had spoken, the elder of the Ma family immediately smiled in satisfaction. On the other hand, Xin Yaotian's face was gloomy and somewhat ugly. He had previously said that he would definitely obtain the 3,000-year-old violet sunflower and even take Lin Xian as his battle servant. Yet now Lin Xian had displayed shocking combat strength and was even able to fight him. Moreover, the most detestable thing was that the spiritual herb didn't belong to him anymore. If it was in the past, then he would have slapped that person to death if they dared to fight him for the spiritual herb. However, it was an Exalt Realm elder who wanted the spiritual herb now. Moreover, the elder was an expert amongst Exalt Realm experts. He couldn't defeat the elder at all. So, he could only admit defeat this time. Since senior wants it, then I naturally won't fight for it. Xin Yaotian spoke in a low voice, and then he turned around and gazed at Lin Xian while a strand of icy cold killing intent erupted from his eyes. "Kid, you better not let me see you again. Otherwise, it'll be the day of your death. Let's go." Xin Yaotian grunted coldly, and then he led all the cultivators away swiftly. Marulong and the others heaved sighs of relief. Xin Yaotian was arrogant and untamed. If he really attacked, then the situation would be extremely troublesome. Even though their elder was very strong, he didn't dare to injure Xin Yaotian. After all, Xin Yaotian was from a sovereign clan. However, fortunately, Xin Yaotian didn't attack and left instead. The others heaved sighs of relief as well, and their faces were filled with lingering fear. Lin Xian's heart sank slightly. Xin Yaotian was a strong enemy and he had to improve his strength. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for him to defeat Xin Yaotian. The elder descended from the sky and gazed at Lin Xian with a smile. "Young friend, what do you intend to exchange for?" Lin Xian took out the 3,000-year-old violet sunflower and smiled. "Yes, I don't have any special requests. Senior, you can give me whatever you want." As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Xian handed the violet sunflower over. "Young friend, you really are straightforward." The Ma clan elder quickly took the spiritual herb and carefully inspected it. In next to no time, his old face was filled with extreme excitement. "That's right, it really is a 3,000-year-old spiritual herb. I never expected that I would finally be able to obtain a 3,000-year-old spiritual herb in my lifetime." The Ma clan elder's voice trembled, and he seemed to be extremely excited. The sand region's climate was dry, and it wasn't suitable for spiritual herbs to grow. Therefore, spiritual herbs in this area were very rare, let alone a 3,000-year-old spiritual herb. Although the Ma clan elder was an honorable one, he was already very old. If he didn't have any fortuitous encounters, he wouldn't be able to break through at all. It was very likely that he would reach the end of his life in the near future. However, now that he had this spiritual herb, it was very different. At least he could extend his life a little. By then, he might have a chance of breaking through. It could be said that the effect of this spiritual herb was much greater for him than for other young warriors. That was why he was so excited. "Since young friend is so straightforward, I won't mistreat you." The Ma clan elder kept the spiritual herb and flipped his palm, taking out a fist-sized golden stone. Chapter 601. This is a metal elemental origin crystal. It can upgrade a bejeweled weapon by 1 grade. The Ma family elder said with a smile. Upgrade by 1 grade. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He looked at the pale golden stone in front of him in surprise. That old man was right. It is indeed a metal elemental origin crystal. I didn't expect him to be so generous, the dark red dragon muttered. Lin Xian was relieved to hear the dragon's words. Ruffian dragon was an old demon. If even he thought it was fine, then it must be true. Lin Xian nodded and smiled at the Ma family elder. Soon the Ma family elder took out another item. This is a battle armor drawing. It is very powerful. It is said that if it can be made, even a venerable would find it difficult to break its defense. Even a venerable would not be able to break it? Lin Xian was stunned. Then he showed a suspicious look. The Ma family elder smiled and explained, the requirements for making such a powerful battle armor are definitely not simple. In fact, they are very strict. Not only does it require a grandmaster blacksmith, but the materials required are also extremely precious. However, once it is made, its power will definitely be heaven-defying. I want to use it to exchange for the other 2,000-year-old spiritual herbs. What do you think? The Ma family elder looked expectant. It was obvious that he cared a lot about the spiritual herbs. Lin Xian pondered. Although the Ma family elder's description was very tempting, it was not certain if it could be made. It was like drawing a pie in the sky. However, Lin Xian was very curious about the battle armor. Okay, I'll trade. In the end, Lin Xian clenched his fist and said, Haha, my young friend Lin is really straightforward. The Ma family elder laughed. From now on, you are the Ma family's distinguished guest. If anyone dares to bully you, just tell them the Ma family's name. The Ma family elder was too excited. He quickly exchanged the items with Lin Xian and left excitedly. It could not be helped. For an old monster who did not have much time left, 1,000-year-old spiritual herb was too tempting. However, Lin Xian did not feel the pinch. Not to mention 1,000-year-old spiritual herbs, he still had a few 3,000-year-old spiritual herbs. He even had a 5,000-year-old spirit herb in his possession. That was the real treasure. Lin Xian took the ancient scroll and quickly opened it. Red lotus armor. 4 ancient seals appeared. Soon after, exquisite diagrams appeared one after another. The records on the diagrams were extremely detailed, making people gasp in amazement. The dark red divine dragon stole a few glances and then sent a voice transmission. That old man wasn't lying. The effect of this armor is indeed very strong. Even an ordinary venerable one might not be able to break it. However, it's also very difficult to make it. This is an ancient armor, and some of the materials on it are about to disappear. The dark red divine dragon shook its head. Kid, this is just the information on the surface. The real thing needs to be explored with your soul. Hearing this, Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. He sent a wisp of his soul into the painting. Soon, his body shook and a strange expression appeared on his face. The information inside was even more detailed. He even saw a complete shadow of the red lotus armor. Lin Xian's heart was stirred. He had a vague idea of what was going on. Although the materials to make the armor were difficult to find, he could use another method to condense the armor. That was the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The Great Dragon Sword Soul was very special. It was an offensive saint technique, so it should be able to simulate the red lotus armor. If that was the case, he would be rich. Thinking of this, Lin Xian was overjoyed. The Ma family elder had given away such a precious treasure so casually. He must have thought that the armor was something impossible to make. However, he did not know that Lin Xian had the Great Dragon Sword Soul. Otherwise, he would not have taken out such a heaven-defying treasure. I've really hit the jackpot this time. Lin Xian was so excited that he wanted to shout. Suppressing his excitement, Lin Xian followed Nan Gongseng and the others to participate in the rare treasure exchange. Half a day later, he left the strange space. He quickly returned to the quiet courtyard. He could not use the metal element origin crystal for the time being because he had to find a grandmaster blacksmith to use the origin crystal to upgrade the artifact's grade. However, he could give the red lotus armor a try. Lin Xian took out the illusory spirit defense formation that he had obtained from the Wang family elder and enveloped the entire courtyard, forming an illusory defense formation. Then he summoned the little white monkey and the dark red dragon. After ensuring that it was safe, Lin Xian extended his soul and entered the ancient scroll. He skipped the production process and went straight to the final image of the armor. Amidst the hazy white mist, a bright red battle suit appeared in the void. Lin Xian could feel a frightening aura just by looking at the scene. If he could really make it, its power would definitely be extremely powerful. However, what he needed to do now was not to make it. Instead, he needed to carefully comprehend the inscriptions on it and simulate it with the great dragon sword soul. The image of the armor was very real. Every inscription on it was clearly visible. The inscriptions intersected with each other and finally formed a demonic red lotus that bloomed brightly. He did not know what grade the red lotus armor was. However, it was definitely extraordinary because the inscriptions on it were very complicated. Even with Lin Xian's soul power, he felt a headache coming on. However, hard work paid off. After 3 days he finally grasped all the inscriptions. Next, he would use the great dragon sword soul to simulate the red lotus armor. This process was very difficult because the slightest mistake in the inscriptions would cause the entire armor to be scrapped. Fortunately, Lin Xian's soul power was strong and his willpower was tenacious. Finally, after 5 days he successfully condensed the red lotus armor. The spiritual power in his body surged and quickly intersected on the surface of his body, forming mysterious patterns. Soon, a bright red armor appeared and covered Lin Xian's body. On it, a demonic red lotus bloomed brightly. Lin Xian tested the armor and found that it was better than he had imagined. Its defense had already surpassed his gold thunder body. This result made him very excited. One had to know that it was already so powerful when condensed with spiritual power. If it was really forged, it would definitely be a heaven-defying existence. Moreover, the red lotus armor also made up for Lin Xian's lack of defense. Although the gold thunder body was powerful, it could not be of much use now. Against ordinary warriors, there was no need for him to activate the gold thunder body. However, against top geniuses the gold thunder body was useless. For example, when he faced Xin Yaotian previously, his gold thunder body could not be of use. However, the red lotus armor solved this problem. Its defense had already surpassed the gold thunder body. Lin Xian was confident that if he faced Xin Yaotian again, he could definitely withstand his opponent's attacks with the red lotus armor. Next, as long as his cultivation broke through another level, he would be able to contend with Xin Yaotian in terms of combat power. Lin Xian put away the red lotus armor and went into seclusion to cultivate again. Chapter 602. Holding a high-grade primal yang stone with both hands, Lin Xian circulated the longevity art with all his strength. Pure yang energy quickly entered his body. This primal yang stone was truly worthy of being a top-grade ore. Its effect was much better than spirit stones. Furthermore, the pure yang energy inside was extremely pure. He didn't need to use much strength to convert it into his own energy. This greatly increased Lin Xian's cultivation speed. It wasn't just him. The dragon and the white monkey were also absorbing primal yang stones. However, the white monkey was too strange. Even after absorbing so many primal yang stones, it didn't change at all. On the other hand, the dragon's body had undergone a shocking change. It hadn't stopped absorbing primal yang stones in the past few days. Originally, it had only been at the early stage of the spirit-detecting realm, but now it had reached the late stage. Even its body had doubled in size. Seeing its breakthrough, the dark red divine dragon howled in excitement. Then it looked at the palm-sized monkey and sneered, "Little guy, you're too stupid. Even after absorbing so much primal yang stones, you haven't changed at all." The white monkey stared at the small bowl with disdain. Then its body flickered and it turned into a ray of white light. It arrived in front of the dragon and slammed its furry paw down. Bang! The dragon saw stars and fainted. Fuck. A moment later, the dragon recovered and angrily cursed. Its cultivation base had broken through and its strength had increased, but it still hadn't been able to dodge the white monkey's paw. This was too hateful. The dragon was depressed. It no longer dared to provoke the white monkey and immediately went to absorb the primal yang stones. Within the courtyard, one man and two beasts were rapidly cultivating. One primal yang stone after another dimmed. Lin Xian quickly exchanged for more. This time he had to break through to the late stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Just as Lin Xian was cultivating, Quicksand City became lively once more. Xin Yaotian was a genius and he was quickly recognized by everyone. Furthermore, he was creating one legend after another. There was even news that Xin Yaotian had secretly fought against a certain Sand Region's heavenly genius. As for the result, no one knew. However, to be able to fight against the Sand Region's peak heavenly genius was enough to prove Xin Yaotian's strength. "Who do you guys think Xin Yaotian fought against?" someone asked. Shao Gan, He Muya, Zhao Su, Qin Yang, any of the four masters could be him. Everyone was discussing excitedly. It wasn't just Xin Yaotian. More and more geniuses flooded into Quicksand City, beginning to challenge the various arenas. After a period of recuperation, the Wang family's battle arena became active again. This time they had spent a lot of money to hire a group of experts. These people were far more powerful than Huoxiao. It could be said that not only did the strength of the Wang clan's battle arena not decrease, it had instead increased. They were even looking forward to Lin Xian's visit. Humph, damn thief, you actually disappeared. Damn it. This kind of person is trash. If he dares to come to the arena again, he will definitely not be able to return. The disciples of the Wang family sneered. They hated Lin Xian to the core. Originally they feared Lin Xian's strength. During that time they were even living in fear, afraid that Lin Xian would come knocking on their door. However, their family had invested a lot and brought in a group of experts, greatly increasing the strength of their battle arena. Therefore, the disciples of the Wang family became arrogant again. What kind of genius is he? He's actually a coward. That's just an undeserved reputation. Rumors can't be trusted. What Lin Xian? He's just a piece of trash. If he comes, I'll beat him with one hand. Those who had just joined the Wang family's battle arena sneered. They had just joined, so naturally they wanted to start with Lin Xian. Beat him with one hand? What arrogance. I'm here. Why don't you try? A cold snort sounded. Immediately after, a figure appeared in the center of the battle arena like a ghost. Whoosh! Everyone was shocked. They only felt a black shadow float past. That speed was so fast that their eyes couldn't catch up at all. Lin Xian, it's Lin Xian. What, he's really here. Damn, it's going to be lively after class. Everyone exclaimed, their expressions excited. They wouldn't forget that it was this youth who had challenged the Wang family's experts and obtained 10 consecutive victories. And now, this genius youth had appeared again. If you're Lin Xian, there's nothing special about you. Brat, you dare to come out? You're courting death. On the other side, the martial artists invited by the Wang family had cold expressions as they stared at Lin Xian. They had naturally heard of Lin Xian's 10 consecutive victories, and it was because of this that they were invited. Therefore, these people all wanted to kill Lin Xian. As long as they killed Lin Xian, not only would they obtain the astronomical reward from the Wang family, but they would also immediately become famous in Quicksand City. This was definitely the best opportunity to gain both fame and fortune. Brat, let this young master fight you. Come up and die. I can beat you with one hand. The group of people clamored as their spirit energy surged, forming a terrifying aura. These people were all martial artists at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. They were even stronger than Huoxiao and could be said to be very powerful. The surrounding people were shocked and couldn't help but worry for Lin Xian. Although Lin Xian had defeated Huoxiao before, the other party was only one person. Now, there were 5 or 6 martial artists at the limit of the spirit-detecting realm. This was on a completely different level from the previous lineup. In their view, no matter how strong Lin Xian was, it was impossible for him to defeat so many spirit-detecting realm martial artists. When the Wang family saw Lin Xian, their expressions were cold and their bodies were filled with killing intent. Not only had they been challenged, but they had also lost 2 elders. At this moment, when they saw Lin Xian, their eyes were exceptionally red. Damn it, this time we must kill this despicable thief. Don't worry, this time we invited 5 spirit-detecting realm martial artists. That thief definitely won't be able to escape. I'll let him know the consequences of offending the Wang family. Pass down the order, prepare the martial stage for the battle. In front, the 5 spirit-detecting realm martial artists sneered and stared at Lin Xian like fierce wolves. Lin Xian's face was calm as he said indifferently, "You don't have to fight. Come at me together." What? Together? Everyone was stunned. They suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. Those were 5 spirit-detecting realm martial artists. Wasn't it too crazy to ask them to come at him together? Other than those top prodigies, no one would dare to say such a thing. Everyone was stunned as they looked at Lin Xian. The 5 spirit-detecting realm martial artists' faces were even more gloomy. They wanted nothing more than to tear Lin Xian apart. Humiliation. This was definitely an undisguised humiliation. A mid-stage spirit-detecting realm brat dared to speak to them like this. Brat, you're courting death. You dare to challenge the dignity of an ultimate martial artist? No one can stop you. Very good, you've successfully angered me. I'll torture you to death in a while. The spirit-detecting realm martial artists were filled with killing intent. Being looked down on in front of so many people made them go crazy. Chapter 603. The group of extreme masters invited by the Wang family's Colosseum were all staring at Lin Xian with murderous intent. One of them was very angry. His figure flashed and he instantly appeared in the arena. "Kid, come and die." This voice was full of murderous intent. Lin Xian looked up and saw that the young man in the arena had a pale face and thin cheeks. From afar he looked like a bamboo. "You can come," Lin Xian said with a smile. "But you're so thin. You won't be blown away by my wind concept, right?" Hearing this, the surrounding warriors could not help but laugh. However, the thin and tall young man in the arena was so angry that he shouted, "You're pissing me off. Kid, hurry up and die." Lin Xian snorted coldly. His figure flashed and he instantly appeared in the arena. His speed was astonishing. The bamboo young man was shocked. Based on this speed alone, his opponent was not inferior to him. It seemed that this kid had some skills, but it was impossible to beat him. "Take my move, Water Moon Slash." The bamboo young man's voice sounded. His body suddenly erupted with a terrifying aura. It was like a wave that swept out in all directions. At this moment, the surrounding warriors no longer dared to laugh because that aura made their hearts tremble. Swoosh, swoosh. The bamboo young man slashed down with his saber. A dazzling saber light filled the air and scattered in all directions. The void split open and a terrifying crack appeared. It was a shocking sight. On the arena, the dazzling saber light was like a waterfall. It was dozens of feet long and covered most of the arena. Not bad. The opponent this time is much stronger than before. It seems that the Wang family really put in a lot of effort. A slightly joking voice sounded from the arena. In the next moment, a green light appeared in front of the dazzling saber light. It quickly spun and formed a hurricane. The crystal clear green wind whirled and whistled. Lin Xian's figure could be vaguely seen in the hurricane. Furious wind. Accompanied by a deep voice, the crystal clear green wind quickly spread out like a violent hurricane. It spread out in all directions. The terrifying wind was sharper than a treasure and mercilessly cut everything. With Lin Xian as the epicenter, the terrifying azure wind quickly spread throughout the entire arena. Clang, clang. The bamboo youth's dazzling saber light collided with the raging wind, and a crisp cracking sound echoed in the air. In the blink of an eye, countless saber auras split apart and scattered all over the ground. "What? This is impossible." The bamboo youth roared as he stared blankly at the scene before him. That was his ultimate move. Originally, he had planned to make a sudden move right from the start and smoothly take down Lin Xian. That would definitely increase his fame. However, he did not expect that his attack would actually be broken. Not a single attack landed on Lin Xian. Umph. Lin Xian snorted coldly as he floated in the air, surrounded by countless raging winds. In the next moment, under his command, countless gusts of wind swept towards the bamboo youth. Soon, the bamboo youth was blown out of the window by the strong wind. It was not that he did not want to resist, but that the azure wind was too terrifying. The concept contained within was very profound and was several times stronger than other attacks. He did not dare to resist at all. "I already said that you were too thin and would be blown away. You didn't believe me." Lin Xian shrugged with a smile. Hearing this, the bamboo youth's mouth twitched. His body trembled and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was ashen as he gritted his teeth and quickly left the Wang family's arena. Shameful, too shameful. He probably would not dare to return here in the future. Everyone was shocked as they stared blankly at Lin Xian. To defeat a martial artist at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm in one move, it seemed that Lin Xian's strength had improved a lot. Everyone exclaimed with a trace of fear in their voices. It must be known that the bamboo youth was even stronger than Huoxiao from before. However, he couldn't even withstand a single blow from Lin Xian and was directly blown away. This Lin Xian is too terrifying. Every time he appears he brings a new shock. Didn't you notice? His aura is no longer at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm. An expert said this piece of news. Immediately, everyone carefully sensed it and revealed shocked expressions. The late stage of the spirit-detecting realm. Heavens, he actually broke through again. When he was at the middle stage of the spirit-detecting realm, Lin Xian was already very powerful. Now that he had broken through to the late stage, his strength should have increased exponentially. No wonder the bamboo youth was defeated in one move. The Wang family's faces were ashen as they trembled with anger. Damn it, how could it be like this? They could not believe it. They had spent a lot of effort to bring in 5 martial artists at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm to increase the strength of the arena. They did not expect to be mercilessly slapped in the face in the first battle. Moreover, it was the same youth who slapped them in the face. How could they survive in the future? In the arena, the faces of the martial artists invited by the Wang family also darkened. Previously they had said that they would kill Lin Xian with one hand. Now, one of their companions had been sent flying with one palm. This was a huge irony. "Kid, I'll fight you." A loud voice rang out, causing the void to tremble. Then, a muscular figure appeared in front of everyone. He was tall and his muscles were entrenched like dragons. His entire body was like an iron tower, and every step he took caused the ground to tremble. This was definitely a strength-type expert. The Iron Tower youth carried a huge battle axe on his back. At this moment he pulled out the battle axe with one hand and raised it to the sky. His entire body was like a barbaric war god, emitting a terrifying aura. "Take my strongest attack, dominating sky axe," the Iron Tower youth roared. Then he held the giant axe with both hands and quickly slashed downwards. Suddenly, countless sparks appeared in the air, and there was an ear-piercing demonic sound. This was caused by the friction between the giant axe and the air. This axe could be said to be extremely domineering. The attack was like a thunderstorm, carrying with it an earth-shattering force as it slashed towards Lin Xian. Wherever it passed, the ground and the void were split in half and terrifying cracks appeared. Even the surrounding defensive shield trembled violently, as if it could not withstand it. Lin Xian's expression was calm. He raised his right hand and golden electric arcs danced on it. The sky was filled with golden lightning and intertwined, forming a huge palm of lightning. It was dozens of feet long and emitted a golden light. On the palm of light, there were complicated inscriptions entwined, revealing traces of inexplicable power. The golden palm of light fell and quickly streaked across the void. Sparks flew everywhere, and there was a burning smell in the void, accompanied by the shocking sound of thunder and a dazzling light. Boom! The golden palm of light roared and collided with the opponent's giant battle axe, causing a wild explosion in the void. In an instant, with Lin Xian and his companion as the center, violent lightning and terrifying energy quickly impacted and covered the entire arena. The scene was extremely terrifying, as if it was the end of the world. Everyone was shocked. They could feel the terror inside even though they were separated by the defensive shield. What will the result be? Who will win? Chapter 604. Everyone looked at the arena with anticipation. The dust cloud dissipated and a figure flew out. Everyone was shocked. When they looked carefully, they sucked in a breath of cold air. The figure that flew out was the tower-like young man from before. His body was surrounded by golden lightning. His hair was messy and there were many burn marks on his body. The tower-like young man landed on the ground and looked at Lin Xian in horror. His strength was tyrannical, and he had never lost to anyone in close combat. But today he was defeated by a young man. Moreover, if his opponent had not held back, he would have been killed by the lightning. He had looked down on Lin Xian and thought that it was just a rumor. Now that he had experienced it himself, he knew how terrifying Lin Xian was. After defeating the tower-like young man with one palm, Lin Xian stood proudly and looked down. "The three of you can come at me together. Don't waste time." Hearing that, the crowd was in an uproar. Domineering, too domineering. Lin Xian wanted to take on 3 ultimate powerhouses by himself. That was crazy. If it had been before, they would not have believed it. However, they had seen Lin Xian defeat 2 ultimate powerhouses in 2 moves. His strength was too strong. Below, the 3 ultimate powerhouses had ugly looks on their faces. They were all powerhouses in their own right. Usually they looked down on everyone and did not take anyone seriously. Now, someone dared to look down on them? The 3 of them were furious. However, if they were to face Lin Xian alone, they were not confident. After all, although they were strong, their combat strength was about the same as the previous 2. The defeat of the previous 2 had deeply affected them. Therefore they did not dare to go up alone. The Wang family elder saw this and his face darkened. They knew that Lin Xian's strength had increased. An ultimate spiritual detecting realm martial artist alone would not be his match. Pass down the order. Let the 3 of them come at him together. The black-robed elder said in a deep voice. Together? The Wang family disciples trembled. A group attack was something that had never happened before. Moreover, to let 3 ultimate powerhouses attack a late-stage spiritual detecting realm martial artist, they would be laughed at. Seemingly knowing what the Wang clan disciples were thinking, the black-robed elder harumphed coldly, "Do you think that you won't be mocked if you go up alone? At that time we will lose even more miserably." Why don't we let the three of them join forces and directly kill that little bastard on the arena? Even though we'll lose some reputation this way, we'll be able to cut off any future troubles. Yes. The Wang clan disciple replied respectfully. Soon after, the three extreme spirit-detecting martial artists received the news. The three of them had heavy hearts. They never thought that the Wang clan would really send all three of them at the same time. Taking deep breaths, the three of them exchanged glances. Right now they had no other choice. It would be better for the three of them to fight together. If they won, they could even become heroes of the Wang clan. Brat, you're the one courting death. Don't blame us. The three of them grinned maliciously and jumped onto the stage. What? The three of them are really going to attack together? Fuck, this is too crazy. Everyone was shocked. They had never seen such a scene before. For a time, the entire great martial stage was thrown into chaos. Not only that, but this news quickly spread out. After the martial artists of Quicksand City heard this news, they quickly rushed over. This is crazy. In the history of Quicksand City, I don't think anyone has done this before. Seeing the three of them join forces, Lin Xian's lips curled in disdain. Hurry up and make your move. Don't waste my time. You're courting death. The three of them were enraged. At this time, Lin Xian still dared to look down on them. This caused their hearts to burn with rage. It had to be known that the three of them were extreme spirit-detecting martial artists. With the three of them joining forces, they had the confidence to challenge a genius. Dealing with a single Lin Xian was a simple matter. Silver River Waterfall. The youth in the middle roared. His hands danced and rays of dazzling light flowed out from his fingertips, forming a hazy water bottle. He held the water bottle with both hands and raised it high in the air. Suddenly, a silver waterfall flew out and surged in the air. The river surged and the water crashed into each other. The crisp sound spread out in all directions as if a real waterfall was flowing in the air. Every drop of water contained a terrifying amount of energy. As they collided with each other, they constantly superimposed their strength. The silver waterfall surged and quickly flew toward Lin Xian. Wind slash. Lin Xian waved one of his arms, and a ball of green light appeared, forming a dazzling green wind blade. With a swift and fierce aura, it was like a green flood that quickly slashed forward. Puff, crack. The two collided, creating a huge collision. Sparks flew everywhere and energy surged. The void was in chaos. In the end, the sharp wind blade exploded, cutting the silver waterfall into several pieces. All of this happened in an instant. By the time everyone reacted, the battle had already ended. Attack together. The youth in the middle roared. Immediately, the martial artists on both sides also quickly attacked. The three of them joined forces, creating a terrifying momentum. Silver River Waterfall. Purple Flame Ball. Flickering Light Shadow. In an instant, three terrifying attacks shot out, rushing toward Lin Xian from three directions, sealing him in the void. The three attacks were too fierce, and they carried a vast amount of energy as they streaked across the void. Wind Thunder Cut. Lin Xian was not afraid. The power of wind and thunder surged in his hand, intertwining to form a wind thunder light blade that whizzed out. The light blade whizzed, and it emitted a powerful aura as soon as it appeared. The entire void rumbled and countless raging winds and thunder exploded, sweeping out in all directions. Lin Xian held the wind thunder light blade in his hand and swept it in front of him. Streaks of wind and thunder splashed, quickly cutting the void in front of him. The terrifying momentum was monstrous. He was fighting one against three like a god of war. The four of them moved quickly in the air, constantly exchanging blows. Their speed was extremely fast. In the crowd below, only a few experts could see the four's movements clearly. The others could only see the occasional energy explosion in the void, but they could not see the figures at all. At this time, more and more martial artists rushed into the Wang family's arena. When they saw the battle in the void, they immediately exclaimed. When they heard that someone was fighting one against three, they did not believe it at all. They thought that it was a rumor. But now, it seemed that there really was a madman fighting. Who is this person? He's so strong, so arrogant. Many newcomers asked. Not long after, they found out that the madman was called Lin Xian, an 18-year-old youth. Just as everyone was exclaiming, someone else arrived. Nan Gongseng, Marulong and the others arrived. When they saw the scene in the arena, they were slightly surprised. Black Pearl went to bed happily. She would not miss out on Lin Xian's match. What? This D*MN guy actually bet 5 million spiritual stones. When Black Pearl heard that Lin Xian had bet 5 million spiritual stones, she exclaimed. Her seductive little mouth was wide open. She had just bet and found out that the odds were 1-8. In other words, if Lin Xian won, he would receive 40 million spiritual stones. That was a shocking number. Chapter 605. Lin Xian was fighting 1 against 3, which shocked everyone. However, the Wang family was still the most depressed. It could be said that at this moment they were extremely nervous. If the 3 of them could kill Lin Xian, it would be a happy ending. If they failed, the Wang family's dojo would fall into the abyss. The situation was not good. The black-robed elder frowned. He did not expect Lin Xian to be so strong that he could fight against 3 spiritual detecting realm martial artists. Before this, Lin Xian's performance was very dazzling. However, he did not expect the 3 spiritual detecting realm martial artists to be unable to take him down. However, the battle before them was like a sharp sword that pierced deeply into the hearts of the Wang family members. The 3 ultimate warriors were even more shocked. The 3 of them had used all their strength and used their strongest techniques, but they were still unable to take down Lin Xian. They did not even manage to injure him. Lin Xian's speed was too fast. Not only did he control the concept of wind, but he also had an earth-rank movement technique. The combination of the 2 made his speed extremely fast. There were probably very few people below the Venerable Realm who could compare to him. Although the 3 of them worked together and had extremely powerful attacks, they were unable to catch up to Lin Xian's speed. If they could not injure him, their moves were useless. No matter how violent they were, they would be useless. Lin Xian used the illusory demonic steps. His body was like a flickering shadow as he shuttled through the dense attacks. He was very confident and at ease. There was even a hint of contempt in his expression. This time he must completely defeat the Wang family's dojo. Sensing the contempt in Lin Xian's expression, the 3 ultimate warriors roared madly. Don't hold back anymore. Use your strongest attack. We must kill this little bastard here. A martial artist roared madly. His black hair fluttered, and the spiritual energy in his body surged like divine flames. Okay. The other 2 martial artists also responded. The 3 of them worked together and decided to use their strongest attack. I wanted to play with you for a while. Since you're in a hurry to die, let's end it. Lin Xian's voice was cold as if he was playing a game. You're courting death. How dare you? Die, brat. The 3 of them roared, wishing they could cut Lin Xian down with their swords. Crack. Lin Xian's figure swayed, leaving behind a series of afterimages in the air. On his body, the 2 concepts of wind and thunder burst out at the same time, blooming with dazzling light. Balls of green air intertwined with golden lightning, forming the power of wind and thunder that circled around him. Countless gusts of wind and electric blades shuttled back and forth, creating a terrifying scene. The power of wind and thunder surged, forming a huge formation that pressed down on the 3 of them. In an instant, the 3 of them tensed up. They felt a powerful wind and thunder force enveloping their surroundings. The terrifying aura made their bodies tremble slightly. Damn it, break for me. Milky Way Dragon Transformation. In the air, the silver waterfall surged, splitting into countless silver flood dragons. They roared ferociously as they shuttled back and forth, trying to break through the wind and thunder diagram. Lin Xian smiled disdainfully. With a tap of his foot, he instantly appeared in front of an ultimate powerhouse like a bolt of lightning. He threw out a palm strike that carried the power of wind and lightning, surging towards that cultivator. Boom. The shadow of the palm carried the power of wind and thunder as it whizzed past, crashing into that cultivator in an instant. That ultimate powerhouse was shocked. He did not expect Lin Xian's speed to be so fast. In a panic, he hurriedly threw out a punch. As the fist and palm collided, the terrifying power of wind and thunder exploded. The violent aura was like a ripple that spread out in all directions. In an instant, that ultimate powerhouse was hit by the wind and thunder, his body twitching non-stop. On his body, waves of powerful lightning destroyed his body. The power of wind formed a strong resistance, slowing down his movements. In an instant he was stunned on the spot. His body twitched non-stop, emitting black smoke. With another palm strike, that ultimate powerhouse fell to the ground like a meteor. So fast. What? Someone was taken care of. The people below were shocked, while the remaining 2 ultimate spirituality realm martial artists' hearts were beating wildly. However, Lin Xian did not give them any time to think. He left a trail of afterimages and quickly attacked the other ultimate powerhouse. As his palm fell, a gigantic palm of wind and thunder formed in the void. It was like a giant hand that covered the sky, pressing down on that martial artist. Before the palm landed, the martial artist below began to tremble. An astonishing aura enveloped him, and the terrifying lightning caused him to twitch incessantly. Retreat. Faced with such a violent attack, that ultimate powerhouse did not dare to take it head-on. He could only choose to retreat. However, Lin Xian's wind concept caused the surrounding air to freeze. That ultimate powerhouse's speed was greatly reduced, and he could not escape at all. In an instant, another person was defeated. The crowd exclaimed and countless people went crazy. The Wang family elder and the others' faces darkened. They knew that they had lost this battle. The remaining martial artist would not be of much use. As expected, that last martial artist still wanted to struggle, but Lin Xian's fingers flicked, and a ball of wind and thunder appeared in his hand. As he waved his hand, the ball of wind and thunder quickly expanded. Finally, it covered half of the arena and destroyed all the silver dragons. That martial artist was also sent flying while vomiting blood. In the blink of an eye, all three ultimate powerhouses were defeated. This scene was too shocking. Lin Xian fought 1 against 3 and won a complete victory. Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Many martial artists shouted excitedly. They had all bet on Lin Xian's victory. At this moment they had all received 8 times the amount of their spirit stones. Those who lost kept cursing. They blamed the Wang family's arena, and at the same time, they were deeply shocked by Lin Xian's strength. Suddenly, a cold snort came from the depths of the Wang family's arena. The voice was like a clap of thunder. It was not loud at first, but it exploded in the air. The martial artists below turned pale and were on the verge of collapse. Oh no, it's a venerable. A venerable is about to attack. Nan Gongseng's expression changed. The other martial artists were also frightened. They did not expect the Wang family's venerable to attack. The Wang family was stunned, then they were overjoyed. Although Lin Xian was strong, he was definitely not a match for a venerable. Brat, I'll let you be arrogant again. You can't escape death after offending the Wang family. The black-robed elder sneered. Following that cold snort, a monstrous pressure spread out in all directions. It was as if thousands of mountains were pressing down on everyone's heads, making it difficult for them to breathe. Especially Lin Xian. He felt a powerful force fill the surroundings as if it was going to crush him. Venerable. Lin Xian's expression was gloomy, and his eyes shone with a shocking light. He channeled the great dragon sword soul in his body, wanting to unleash his strongest attack to escape the venerable's cage. However, before he could move, a loud laugh was heard, and the venerable's cage around him was shattered. When did the Wang family become so shameless? A venerable one actually dares to bully a junior. How capable. Chapter 606. Everyone was shocked. Someone actually dared to mock a venerable one. Was he tired of living? However, there were also some people who were solemn because they noticed that the other person's aura was also very powerful. It was obvious that the other party was also a venerable one. 2 venerable ones had appeared for Lin Xian. This was too shocking. One had to know that venerable ones usually would not participate in the matters of the arena. Now, a young man had attracted the attention of 2 venerable ones. This was definitely big news. The Wang family's venerable one was mocked and immediately snorted coldly. A beam of light shot down from the sky like a world-destroying divine light and quickly pierced towards Lin Xian. Wherever it passed, a turbulent air wave was created. This attack was very ferocious. A trace of it could kill a martial artist below the venerable realm. At this moment, it was charging towards Lin Xian with the determination to kill Lin Xian. Lin Xian's heart was solemn. He was still unable to fight against a venerable one, but if he wanted to leave, the Wang family's venerable one would not be able to stop him. However, he did not leave because the other venerable one had made a move. A sea of blue light formed beside him. It was like an endless sea, and it carried a vast amount of power as it protected Lin Xian. Boom. Bang. The attacks of the venerable ones collided, creating a terrifying storm. Fortunately, the 2 of them stopped in time and quickly restrained themselves. Otherwise, the entire arena would have been razed to the ground. Humph, old Ma, this young man doesn't seem to be from your Ma family, right? It doesn't seem appropriate for you to attack like this. The Wang family's venerable one snorted coldly. Inappropriate? What's inappropriate about it? An old man appeared in the void. It was the elder of the Ma family who had exchanged spiritual herbs with Lin Xian that day. The one who broke the rules seems to be your Wang family. Elder Ma said with a smile, "I'll definitely protect Lin Xian. Also, let the young people settle their matters. This is the rule of Quicksand City." Although Elder Ma's voice was not loud, it was sonorous and powerful, causing the Wang family's disciples to tremble. The group of people's expressions were ugly as they stared fiercely at the void. However, they could not resist a venerable one. They could only place their hopes on their clan's venerable realm elders. However, to their disappointment, their venerable one elder was indeed silent this time, as if he agreed with what the Ma family elder said. "Elder." The Wang family disciples were unwilling to accept this. If they could solve this problem themselves, why would they look for a supreme expert? It was obvious that they couldn't solve the current situation. The Wang family's venerable coldly snorted. "If you can't even deal with a spirit-detecting realm brat, how are you going to manage the family in the future? I'll give you a chance to resolve this matter. Otherwise you don't have to come back." With that, the venerable one fell silent. The faces of the Wang family members darkened. They did not expect that the venerable ones and elders of their clan would not care about them anymore. For a moment they were all stunned. The other martial artists were also shocked. The Wang family's supreme expert had actually retreated. Was it over just like that? In fact, those who were paying attention were all looking at the old figure in the sky with a trace of fear. It was obvious that the venerable one from the Wang family had fallen to the lower ranks. This was the real reason why the venerable one from the Wang family retreated. Otherwise, the rule that a venerable one could not attack a junior would not make a dignified venerable one retreat. The Ma family elder looked old, but he was an old monster who had lived for hundreds of years. His cultivation was abnormally powerful, and he was also a very powerful existence among the venerables. At this moment he had personally stepped forward to protect Lin Xian. Perhaps no one in Quicksand City would dare to attack Lin Xian. Of course, that was only limited to the old monsters. They could not and would not care about the matters of the younger generation. "Thank you, Senior, for your help." Lin Xian looked up and thanked him. He did not expect the Ma family elder to step in at the last moment. This was also good. Not only was he safe, but he also did not have to expose his trump card. "Haha, little friend, you're too serious. Speaking of which, I have to thank you for giving me this chance." The Ma family elder smiled, and then his figure gradually disappeared. "Don't worry. After this, I don't think the old monsters of Quicksand City will attack you again." The old voice was still echoing, but the figure had already disappeared. Everyone was shocked. No one knew how the figure disappeared. However, they were even more shocked by the Ma family elder's words. Listening to it, Lin Xian seemed to have helped this venerables. If this was true, then it was too unbelievable. One had to know that venerables were true powerhouses. They were the overlords of a region. Basically, there was nothing in the world that could trouble them. And the things that could trouble them must be extremely difficult. And Lin Xian could occasionally help a venerables. This was too shocking. For a moment, Lin Xian not only became powerful in the hearts of everyone, but also incomparably mysterious. Countless people wanted to know Lin Xian's background, but they found that Lin Xian was like a mystery. They could not find any information at all. Lin Xian stood on the martial stage. His gaze swept and he asked in a deep voice, "Is there anyone else from the Wang family who wants to fight? Of course, if you feel that your strength is not enough, you can come together." Lin Xian's voice echoed in the surroundings, and it did not dissipate for a long time. Arrogant, too arrogant. To challenge the entire Wang clan single-handedly, this scene was too shocking. The surrounding people were excited. They could only feel their blood boiling. They were all ordinary people. Usually they could only look up to such a powerful force. Even if they were bullied by such a force, they did not dare to fight back. They could only swallow their anger. And now, someone dared to challenge such a powerful force and even succeeded. To everyone this was simply a miracle. A rage that could shatter mountains and rivers, and one person that could suppress a group of heroes. This was something that countless martial artists dreamed of. Now Lin Xian had helped them realize it. The Wang family disciples' feelings were the complete opposite. They even wanted to die. Ever since the venerables in the family retreated, they had lost all their strength. Even the venerables could not do anything to Lin Xian, so they had no way to do anything. Now they felt a trace of regret in their hearts. Why did they provoke the assassin Lin Xian? If they had followed the rules back then, there would not be such a disaster now. However, there was no use in regretting some things. The Wang family was now on a path of no return. Now they had no combat power. The 5 ultimate powerhouses they invited had all been defeated, and the rest were no match for him. Young man, there's no need to fight anymore. You've won. The black-robed elder appeared and his voice was cold. Everyone was shocked. The Wang family's martial arts arena had admitted defeat. This news was too shocking. Oh, is that so? Lin Xian shrugged. I bet 5 million spiritual stones. In that case, I'll get 40 million mid-grade spiritual stones. Can the Wang family afford that? What? 40 million mid-grade spiritual stones. Everyone exclaimed and gasped. This was definitely an astronomical figure. They did not expect Lin Xian to be so bold. He dared to bet 5 million spiritual stones. Was he not afraid of losing? However, behind this boldness was a great temptation. The odds of 1 to 8 allowed Lin Xian to get 40 million spiritual stones. Chapter 607. Hearing this, the black-robed elder's mouth twitched. 40 million mid-grade spiritual stones was not a small sum. Even the Wang family could not afford it in such a short time. With a cold snort, the black-robed elder looked at Lin Xian with undisguised killing intent. He knew that Lin Xian had bet 5 million spiritual stones. However, he did not think that Lin Xian could win, so he did not care about the 5 million spiritual stones. However, he did not expect that Lin Xian would win, and the odds were 1-8. As a result, the Wang family had to pay 40 million mid-grade spiritual stones. The black-robed elder felt his heart bleeding. Moreover, what made it even more difficult for him was that if Lin Xian wanted to exchange the spiritual stones immediately, the Wang family would not be able to afford it. By then they would definitely become the laughingstock of Quicksand City. Lin Xian saw the black-robed elder's ugly expression and smiled. He did not need to guess to know the Wang family's current predicament. However, this was good news for him because it was very beneficial for what he was going to do next. With a smile, Lin Xian looked at the black-robed elder. Now there is a chance to save the Wang family. Chance? What chance? The black-robed elder frowned. He did not know what Lin Xian was playing. Do you dare to make a bet with me? Bet on what? You and I will fight. If you lose 40 million spiritual stones, I will not take a single cent. Moreover, I will give the 5 million mid-grade spiritual stones to the Wang family. Hearing this, the black-robed elder frowned with a trace of surprise. He did not believe that there would be such a good deal in the world. What do you want? The black-robed elder asked in a deep voice. Very simple. If you lose, the Wang family's battle arena will belong to me. You are courting death. The black-robed elder was furious. He did not expect that Lin Xian would dare to have designs on their battle arena. The surrounding crowd was also in an uproar. They did not expect Lin Xian to be so bold as to make such a shocking bet. One had to know that 40 million spirit stones was a huge amount of wealth. Ordinary people wouldn't dare to use it as a wager. Seeing the black-robed old man's reaction, Lin Xian wasn't angry at all. He shrugged and casually said, "It's fine if you don't want to bet. Then take out 40 million mid-grade spirit stones. I need them urgently." Hearing this, everyone from the Wang family felt their eyelids twitch. 40 million mid-grade spiritual stones was not something that could be found anywhere. How could they take it out so quickly? The black-robed elder frowned. They were indeed in a predicament. Then he began to carefully consider what Lin Xian had just said. After some analysis, he realized that it was not impossible to defeat Lin Xian. Although Lin Xian was strong, his true battle power was only at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm. He was only at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm. As an elder of the Wang family, he had been at the peak of the spirit-detecting realm for almost 100 years. His strength and foundation were extremely powerful, and normal peak spirit-detecting realm martial artists were not his match. He could have easily won against the 3 ultimate powerhouses from before. Therefore he was still confident that he could defeat Lin Xian. Moreover, as an elder, his wealth couldn't be compared to those normal young martial artists. He had extremely good treasures and secret techniques in his hands. As long as he used his full strength, he could definitely defeat Lin Xian. I can accept your challenge, but I don't know if you'll keep your word? The black-robed elder asked. Of course, Lin Xian said. How can I go back on my word when I've said it in front of so many people? Okay, I agree to your request. Hearing this, everyone below was shocked. They didn't expect the Wang family to actually agree to such a challenge. If they lost, the Wang family's dojo would change owners. This was definitely the biggest bet in Quicksand City in the past 100 years. If you want to fight, you can, but first you have to sign the contract, Lin Xian said. The black-robed elder's face darkened. He said in a low voice, "You don't trust our Wang family." I don't trust you. With your style, it's inevitable that you'll go back on your word when you lose, so it's better to write it clearly in advance. You, the black-robed elder was trembling with anger. The Wang family members were also furious. Lin Xian didn't care about the Wang family's reaction. Instead, he threw out 2 blank scrolls and let them float in the air. Then he quickly wrote down the contents of the battle as well as the rewards for winning or losing. He said in a clear voice, "Today I'll have a duel with the Wang family. If I win, then the 5 battles of the Wang family will belong to me. If I lose, then the 40 million spirit stones that I won and the 5 million spirit stones that I originally had will all belong to the Wang family." It's written in black and white. Now, let's invite Nan Gongxing from the Nangong family and Ma Rulong from the Ma family to be the witnesses. Lin Xian looked at the black-robed elder. With the Nangong family and the Ma family as witnesses, I don't think you have any objections, right? The black-robed elder's face darkened. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be acquainted with the disciples of the 2 top families. He snorted and said in a low voice, "I have no objections." "If you have no objections, then let's use your blood as a witness." With that, Lin Xian pricked the tip of his finger and flicked a stream of blood onto the scroll. The black-robed elder also made a blood mark. Then the 2 scrolls fell into the hands of Nan Gongxing and Ma Rulong. "Brother Nan Gongxing, Brother Ma, thank you for your trouble." Lin Xian cupped his fists and said. Seeing this, Nan Gongxing and Ma Rulong nodded and said in a clear voice, "Today's duel is voluntary. No matter the outcome, I hope that both sides will abide by the agreement. Otherwise, the Ma family and the Nangong family will be the first to come after him." Ma Rulong said in a clear voice. His voice spread in all directions. The reason why he said this was because they had full confidence in Lin Xian. Not long ago they had seen Lin Xian fight with Xin Yaotian with their own eyes. Lin Xian's strength was definitely incomparable. Even if the Wang family sent out an old monster who had lived for hundreds of years, the 2 of them believed that Lin Xian would definitely win. Now, let's invite the 2 participants onto the stage. Hearing this, Lin Xian and the black-robed elder's figures flickered and appeared on the stage at the same time. Everyone held their breaths and watched carefully. Who do you think will win? It's hard to say. Lin Xian is currently very strong and can challenge multiple extreme spirit-detecting realm martial artists. However, his opponent is also an old monster who has lived for hundreds of years. His strength is unfathomable and definitely not below Lin Xian. So, it's hard to say who will win, someone analyzed. The Wang family did not agree. They firmly believed that the black-robed elder would win. Because the outcome of a battle was not just determined by cultivation strength. Experience, tactics, treasures, secret techniques, and other means could all determine the outcome of a battle. The black-robed elder had lived for hundreds of years and definitely had rich battle experience. Moreover, in terms of secret techniques and treasures, he could definitely suppress Lin Xian. Therefore, the Wang family would definitely win this battle. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.